Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your good friend Rafa Sparza coming to you live right now. This is a UFC Fight Night and Third Coast Grappling evening, so we have a great night of coverage for you guys. As you can tell, we are in the midst of one of the first prelim bouts, which, by the way, features a friend of the show, Max Roxoff. But Max is being said by one Michael Bisping as being very tired, which understandably so. Oh, did they call it off? Uh-oh. That's not great. I wonder if, yeah, they're saying that there's a doctor stoppage. There's the two of them coming over. That's unfortunate. They are mentioning the fact that it was on 10 days' notice, and of course he took it. He looks really, really disappointed. I mean, got it. That's what he was saying. In the middle of the rounds, he was just telling his coaches he didn't have it. So, yeah, if you're telling somebody that in between rounds, that's not the best place to be. All right. Well, that's going to start our evening off so far so decently. I will tell you guys, we are going to be watching all of the events. I'm also going to be keeping an eye on Third Coast Grappling, which is taking place in Texas out tonight. And you can tell that the promotion for Flow Grappling starts to get a little monotonous. It gets a little repetitive. Their email that they sent out that said, Third Coast Grappling Kumite 2. This one's going to be wild. So they think they're just running out of shit to say at this point. Max Smith, the referee for the fight, went over to go ask if he wanted to continue. Max signaled no. And it's going to be a TKO finish. All right, well, that's an interesting way to start the evening. What else do I have for you guys? All right, so we're going to be keeping our eyes and ears out for all of you guys, giving us comments, questions, hints, concerns. We're going to go on Instagram in just a minute as we get ourselves settled here to begin this evening. I'll be able to give you guys more updates as we go through as well. I also want to tell you guys, tomorrow we are doing Submission Underground 15. And if you guys haven't seen those odds, I would highly encourage you to do so. I'm waiting to see if they're actually going to interview Austin Hubbard. I think they're coming on over. They should be doing the remote interviews, if I'm not mistaken. So waiting on word for that as we get settled in very easily. Let me go ahead and pull the mic up a little bit closer just to make sure you guys are with us. It's kind of interesting. I mean, today's fights start about an hour earlier than even the earlier ones. So we're not blindsided, but I had to thank our good friend Dan Hubler, who put up a nice post that just goes, hey guys, the prelims start at 2 p.m. today. And I said, they do? Uh-oh. Yeah, they're showing footage of, I think, Max talking with Drysdale. He trains out of Vegas. And I think this is when they walked over to go see if he was going to come back for the next round. And he waved it off. Hey, man, I would rather see him safe than continue to take any kind of damage throughout this. He had a number of really good submission attempts. There's a kick into a leg attack. I mean, the bulk of what I saw Max was doing throughout the fight that I really enjoyed was the fact that he was in on some of these leg attacks. He was in on a heel hook at one point. Ooh, it's a nice elbow, though. Awesome. Yeah, no, I see it. His response time was a little low. He started taking and absorbing shots. All right. All right. Anik is actually talking with his opponent. I'll give you guys summaries if you need them. So this is Anik's kind of conditionally putting it out to us and telling that, apparently he was supposed to fight somebody else. So he said that he wasn't able to look at tape of his opponent. He just really needed to focus in on himself, all that stuff. That sort of makes sense. Interesting. Also, we wish good news and luck to our good friend Jordan Jitsu, who's been on a kill. In case you guys haven't heard, he's going to be creating a Jiu-Jitsu Woodstock in August. If you guys are interested, please find out ways that you can go support that. You can go, it's going to be like seminars. It's going to be, a competition. There's an open tournament that weekend. A lot of really cool things will be going on. We'll be talking about it more tomorrow, I believe, when Jordan shows back up on the show. Yeah, some of these punches are muy bueno from One Austin, so good for him. He said he was able to scramble out. This is, I believe, Austin, his opponent. Anik is asking, how does it feel like to have an injury and come back from it? How do you feel now, kind of a thing? All right. He's not saying too much. We're about to go. What's up, Josh Leduc? Good to see you, sir. Starting over on the ESPN fight card, which is weird. They can't figure out how they're going to name some of these ones. They can't figure out if it's going to be UFC Vegas 3, which is starting a whole brand new sequence of numbering for the UFC. But this is supposed to be UFC Fight Night, and it is going to be top-lined by one of my friends thought instead of Alexander Volkov, it was going to be Volkanovski, who's in the 145 division, taking on Curtis Blades, which is not exactly what it's going to be. What else do I have for you guys? That's unfortunate. Feeling a little bummed for the pal, but we'll get over it. We'll continue on as we have coverage for you all this evening. Third Coast Grappling will also be starting at approximately 6 o'clock West Coast time, so we will keep an eye out for that as well. We're about to start on over on Instagram. If you guys are so interested in joining us either there or here, you're more than welcome to do either. We want to thank our fans who are also watching on Periscope right now. Don't think we don't see you. We do. We know that you're too cheap to buy the actual thing. That's why we are here to help out and give you all the information and coverage you can possibly ask for. And that's not it, guys. We also are going to be covering tomorrow's Submission Underground 14, which has some incredible odds, which I think we can actually put up in just a second. I'm interested to hear what you guys think of some of these odds, because I've been pushing this around to a couple of our friends, and they weren't surprised, but there's a couple good betting odds here that I think you guys might want to get in on. All right, let me go ahead and pull up what they've got over on this side. This is coming straight off of the Submission Underground website. They put this up. So if you guys ever get the opportunity to go ahead and check out the odds, you're more than welcome to. But look at this. Now let's put that full screen. So this is Craig Jones is negative 550 to Gabriel Chekos plus 400. Wouldn't take that bet. Amanda Lowen versus Jessica I. Jessica I at a 185 underdog status, which is interesting. Cody Steele at negative 235 versus Andy Varela at plus 185. Cody's been on a bit of a hot streak, and I think it's hard to vote against him at this point. Mason Fowler and Warren Brooks. Some people were trying to convince me that Warren Brooks is a good buy in this one. I don't know. I don't know how I exactly feel about that, especially with Mason Fowler. Mason Fowler held his own at ADCC in some very competitive contests. I think it would be very, very important to keep an eye on him. He is also an ADCC trials winner, which I think is one of the hardest things to do. He out here won I think it was the West Coast trials last year. So that's a pretty good fight either way, but I would look to Mason Fowler. And then this is the most interesting one. If only in that Roberto Jimenez has all of the momentum in the world going in right now. You cannot deny that. However, Nathan Orchard as a plus 170 underdog is not a bad kind of bet to take here. And here's why. Nathan Orchard is also, he's a Shugio champion. He has been a runner-up in EBI. He has a lot of experience in this rule set. So I think this is maybe one of the most exciting matches on the card to begin with. Then if you get outside of that card, there are some interesting matchups to look at as well. And Adam and Hunter being negative 120 and negative 110 is honestly not bad odds. I like Adam and I like Hunter a lot. So I'm intrigued to see how this one plays out for the two of them. But if you take this one step further, it is potentially you have Cody Steele versus Mason Fowler if they're able to get by their respective opponents. And potentially you have either Adam or Hunter. I think on a given day's notice, either one of them could take it. Let's just for the sake of conversation say that Hunter uses this rule set, gets by. He takes on one, let's just say Roberto Jimenez. That's a really still amazing tournament. So, but I would tell you this. I think that just betting for the sake of betting and looking for a good horse to take here, I think Nathan Orchard is good money. So take that for what you will. But I'm excited to see the match between him and Roberto going on tomorrow, and I hope that you guys are as well. All right, we're in between matches right now on the ESPN card. We are looking for you guys to keep us up to date of what you see is going on. We're going to be doing our best to check everything and keep you guys up to date with all the information that is out there. I'm going to go ahead and pull this back. That goes straight back to me. All right. And questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations, all of that good stuff gets put into the ether. We will be having some guests come a little bit later in the evening, so hold on for that. But for right now, I'm holding it down, and I believe coming up next is one Roxy Modafferi, who is also a friend of the show. So very happy to see her getting her shine. She is, man, it's so incredible to see her journey over all of these years, honestly. I mean, she's somebody who's been fighting for such a long time and has always been so consistently upbeat and fun and nice. I remember the first time we interviewed her, you know, you get the sense that, yeah, she was a nerdy chick, but she could throw down and she loved anime and all these like fun little things that made her unique. But just a great fighter spirit, has been in some wars, and the fact that she's been able to return and have a really fun career again in the UFC just bodes well for her ability and her wherewithal, one might say. So we got her coming up next against Lauren Murphy when we return, which I think is actually coming down now. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting in. There we go. I'm actually signing in on my ESPN app. So my question to you guys is, who do you think is going to win tomorrow's Submission Underground? Again, we'll have the main team coming in tomorrow to come do all of that sort of stuff. But I'm intrigued. I want to know if you guys have any kind of dog in this race or anybody that you think is particularly going to win over somebody else. I would love to hear it as we go on. And I'm going to go ahead and put up right now the little banner that reminds you guys we got Roxanne Modafferi and Lauren Murphy coming up right this second. All right, they're doing the introductions. The two of them are getting their moment in the sun. You're going to have Modafferi wearing the black Reebok rash guard and with her hair in kind of a cornrowish braids. And they are about to begin their fight. It does say apparently in the odds that Murphy is a slight favorite as per one John Anik. It's also chillingly quiet in that cage right now. I'm hearing already all of the punches that are starting to take place. You've got Michael Bisping making the case that if you were to look at this on paper, that Lauren Murphy is actually the much better striker. Two of them begin. They're starting to circle. Right now on my clock, we've got 4:29. And, you know, of course, Dominic is at least making the case that Modafferi's striking has become much better over the years, which it isn't bad. I mean, I think that's a little underrated, if we're being honest. She's been somebody who you just kind of don't see. She's also been fighting out of, I believe it's Syndicate MMA out in Vegas. She's been there for a good while. Just one of the nicest, very fun people that you can see. Two of them start to exchange. Let me see over on this side. Modafferi starting to go ahead and try and get with that overhand right. Couple kicks to begin with. Of course, Modafferi was famously on The Ultimate Fighter, which is where our paths crossed when she came on our show, and we did a whole 1 minute. Modafferi tried to shoot in, change levels. Nothing doing there. Now pressing up Murphy against the cage. Head underneath, putting pressure. She has one underhook in, trying to get the second underhook. Now starting to flavor in with a few punches, maybe to try and split the difference. Now has both arms. Nope, she switched to other. She's going to go ahead and start pummeling the other arm. And she's got her pretty tight up over there, so I think she might be there for just a bit. I'm going to go ahead and say hello to a couple other people who have sent us nice notes. What's up, Nang So? Thank you very much for following us. And just to remind you guys, those who share the show will also be cheersed and congratulated and given a nice toast. So if you guys are enjoying the show, if you like what we do, feel free to give us some love. We always appreciate when you guys are so kind with your shares and your likes. Remember, like and a share gets you a cheers toast. Modafferi's trying to work on this trip, it looks like. Now comes up with the knee while still up against the cage. One arm is pummeled. That is the left arm of hers. Face pushed up against the cage with Lauren Murphy. If they wanted to talk about the fact that Lauren Murphy was going to have better striking, at least this is a very strong idea to kind of neutralize that. Out of the clinch, you see Modafferi comes with the overhand and tries to break it up for just a smidge. Two of them now find their way back to the center of the octagon. 2 minutes left to go in this round. Of course, now I can almost hear my dog snoring. That's not an indication of this fight. I just want to let you know that if you do hear any sort of ever so slight, adorable snore, that is my beautiful little French bulldog, Lucy. This will be interesting. It's one of those fights where you're probably going to see not a giant counter-strike sort of thing. I think the two of them are just kind of in their own element of just trying to engage, set it off, and there's not really a re-engage in between. It's just they absorb and then literally start pushing against the cage. Join us for hashtag UFC Vegas 3, opening it up to our good friends over at Verbal Tap, saying hello to them. Thank you guys. We love you, our fans. You are some of the best and funniest people that we know. Some of you aren't that funny, if we're being honest. But a lot of you are pretty funny. Let me see. They're about to come up on 50 seconds left to go in this round. Keep you abreast as it's probably going to quickly move to another one in just a few seconds. All right. Let me go ahead and pull that one off. We are now making sure that we're on all cylinders. If you guys get the opportunity, feel free to give us a like, a share. We are currently in the middle of the last 15 seconds of Modafferi and Murphy in their first round. We will be having a momentary break for them, but you guys, you don't go anywhere. You stay with us the whole time. So that means any questions, comments, and concerns, or hints, allegations that you guys have, feel free to hit us up in the comment section. You guys make this show what it is. So if it sucks, it's also your fault. Doing our best to sign on our iPad. I can't tell if I'm on too many devices on one, but it is telling me that I need to chill out. Restore? What am I supposed to do here? Anyway. Oh, what do we got for you guys today? We have a very fun evening of fights. Let me go ahead and tell you guys who is on this evening. You've got Roxanne, Modafferi, Lauren Murphy, and then up next, you've got Frank Camacho and Justin James, Courtney Casey, Gillian Robertson, Marc-Andre Barut versus Oscar Picciotto, Tisha Torres versus Briana Van Buuren, Clay Guida versus Bobby Green. That'll be very fun. Then you've got Jim Miller and Roosevelt Roberts. Bilal Muhammad versus Lyman Good, who has recovered from the COVID. Raquel Pennington, another tough alum, taking on Marianne Renault. Josh Emmett, Shane Burgos, and toplined by one Curtis Blades and Alexander Volkov. So now we are back up top of the second round for Modafferi, and she is coming out aggressively in this fight thus far in. Yeah, Dominic Cruz is making a very strong case of she does very well when she is first, and that is super accurate. Modafferi is also very, 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 very lethal when she's doing that. What's up, Margaret Colton Watson? Good to see you. Thank you very much for your like. We appreciate you as always. Nice little cheers to you. Murphy did get a strike to the knee over here, and it did seem to trip off Modafferi just ever so slightly. Her defenses are down, and now you see Murphy on the offensive. You're starting to feel just for a split second over on this way that Modafferi is looking a little staggered by that. Be interesting to see how that plays out as we continue on. Also, we want to say hello to everybody watching that we have. Good afternoon to you as well. We've got folks watching on YouTube as well, so I'm going to go and check in with them in just a second. Want to make sure we cover all of our bases because all of you guys who watch, you are so nice, and we appreciate your time. 3:38 left to go in this fight in the second round. Right now, you're seeing Murphy. They were talking about her having better striking, and it does seem to be the way that it's carrying out at the moment. And I think if we're talking about the striking, we also can't just ignore the fact that she was able to get off a kick on Modafferi that really started to stagger her back. Now with 317, you're not seeing Modafferi striking as crisp at the moment. Yeah, apparently here, Anik is giving us the intel that during the in-between rounds that John Wood was making no reference to level changes or anything of the sport. He wanted to keep it striking based, which now I think they're alluding to the fact is becoming a little bit of a problem for Roxanne Modafferi just in terms of trying to stay competitive in this fight thus far in. Modafferi now gets a clinch work in. She's going to be backed over to the side of the cage from Modafferi, who's going to try and make this ugly over on the side. For a split second, you're almost able to see Murphy able to reverse the position, which would be the first time she would be able to do so. She's not taking too much damage. It looks like Roxanne's just trying to make sure that she can't get hit in this opportunity. Now she has these overhooks trying to come in on a single, but there's not much of a level change just yet. So she might be able to now, you see that Roxanne Modafferi is coming over on her right-hand side, starting to try and trip her up. Now comes back over. Not much to do there just yet. Cheers to everybody who is watching over on Periscope as well. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. In the live chat over on the YouTube, I have not heard from you guys just yet, but I see you there. I just want to make sure you guys are being appreciated and acknowledged. Right now, Lauren Murphy is now starting to work from the back. She has Modafferi in turtle, trying to get one of the hooks in. Modafferi doing a very good job of blocking the leg from coming in. However, just her body positioning is almost opening it up just a little bit more for her to be flattened out. Now you're seeing Murphy with 122 left to work start to get in on controlling the wrist and maybe having the opportunity to work a rear naked choke. However, Modafferi isn't quite in it. She might be able to just kind of scramble out. And yes, now we're working from just about inside guard. Modafferi's almost clear of the legs, and now she gets pushed back. Very nice push over from Murphy. And right back to work from Modafferi, who now is coming in to try and take her down. Over on the side, looking for a little bit of a takedown, not getting anything here, so pushing her right back up against the cage. Again, much love to all of our friends tuning in on Facebook. We love you guys. You're home base for us. You're the people that let us know what's going on. If you guys see something we don't, please let us know. We're trying to keep you guys updated. We also have the ability to show you clips and little things that are happening on the MMA scene on our little telestrator, aka our ability to go and show you guys stuff like, you know, this. Look at that. Modern technology being able to be implemented throughout this evening's telecast. Now, with 15 seconds left to go, you're going to see Lauren Murphy not really get taken down, but you're going to see Modafferi pushing Murphy up against the cage to end this round. We will go to a round 3 after the break. You do have to feel at this third round that it's going to be make or break for Modafferi. They did show, I believe, an early right hand as they went to commercial. They just kind of show you a little small clip and then didn't really segue out. What are you going to do? Let me go ahead and see. I think I need to sign out of this one. Log in. Oh, goodness. Well, tell me what's going on in your guys' lives. Are you enjoying the fights thus far in? The first one, of course, was not a super rough one to watch, but we had a friend of the show making his debut, one Max Ruskoff, and he, I don't know that you can put that on there, but that is noted on Wikipedia as TKO retirement. Sure. Austin Hubbard ended up winning that bout. I think we're supposed to technically cheers him, and we will in just a little bit, but we're doing the best to make sure we get things up and running for you guys, because you're a more important thing here. Don't get us wrong. We love cheersing these guys, but we're really here for you. You're what make America great. Is that a saying? I don't know. And they are now back top of the third round to begin. And it looks like that John Wood was telling in between the rounds, switch to the single leg as she is doing her pushing up against the cage. And Dominic Cruz seems to be in love with that idea. All right, let me go and see where this is coming through on my side. 434. Going strong so far on the stream. Appreciating all of you guys coming in. The two of them back on their feet, getting their bearings. Nothing super crazy going on just yet in this third round. But as we have mentioned, it is already looking very strong for Lauren Murphy thus far in. They're complimenting Roxanne's pace at the beginning of this third round. Of course, that is very nice. I still feel that Murphy's striking is maybe Keemer a smidge ahead. Of course, control time over against the cage. Modafferi has been very consistent on being ahead of the gate. She has been very, very aggressive throughout this fight. And now you're seeing Lauren Murphy starting to get a little bit more comfortable. Misses the range from one kick. Gets a nice left hook in there. Beautifully done. Two jabs all over. Now Modafferi's starting to connect. Barrages her over straight back over to the cage, where it has been a very, very consistently powerful moment for Roxanne Modafferi throughout this fight. You're going to see her switch on over from the single to the double. Nothing doing there again. Murphy very aptly moves her around just ever so slightly. Gets out of the tie clinch. And it doesn't look like these knees have a ton of impact to them. They're just a little bit more bothersome, and they're not really allowing Murphy to go ahead and disengage. Murphy, if anything, is showing that she's having a hard time getting out of that head control position for Modafferi, which is, I think, probably one of her strengths as a fighter. She is consistently able to pull down on that, and with good control. Not a lot of people are able to do that all that effectively. Modafferi just hanging on for dear life as trying to drag her down. I don't know that that's going to be enough to really get into the judges' opinion. Lauren Murphy is now starting to get some shoulder shrugs as strikes, reminiscent of one Conor McGregor and Donald Cerrone. The two of them enter back over to the center of the octagon. A nice kick on the inside from Lauren Murphy. Ooh, it was a beautiful straight cross by one Roxanne Modafferi. Lauren Murphy starting to feel it a little bit too. The back away overhand from Lauren Murphy. She pulls back. Nothing too crazy here. Roxanne's striking is getting a little bit more confident as we are getting to a close of this. The only problem is there is only 1 minute and 40 seconds left to go in this fight. It's not a lot of time to do a lot of damage. which I think is what she's going to need to make up for lost time over here. Thank you to everybody watching on Facebook. If you are just joining us, we appreciate you guys. Just to let you know, if you like and share, you get a cheers live on the broadcast. So do us a solid, share this if you are enjoying the telecast. And if not, just sit around and just watch. It's free. Last minute coming up right now. Roxanne Modafferi looking to try and make a statement over on this side. Lauren Murphy now getting pieced up a little bit more than you would have thought she was supposed to be. Modafferi is actually really competitive in this round. The previous 2 rounds, they were showing the stats. She was behind on strikes, not on control time up against the cage. So if she's able to close the distance here, and if they are looking at control of the cage, it could be a very interesting decision for the judges to make. I would still put Lauren Murphy ahead of the 2 rounds to 1. It's going to depend on your interpretation of those 2. 30 seconds coming up left here. Modafferi comes in for a kick just to kind of establish distance. Now you're seeing the countering happening from one Lauren Murphy. You're seeing Murphy go to the solid stomach section, now starting to get a little bit more wild. This is actually the type of fight that Roxanne Modafferi excels at. And just to put an exclamation mark on the end of this last few seconds of this fight, you get Lauren Murphy getting a takedown, which is going to be vital, I think, in this fight. Modafferi trying to work a last-minute series of guard, a.k.a. trying to get some kind of armbar here and get stuffed at the very last second. The 2 of them engage and say a nice congratulatory hello to one another, and we are at commercial decision coming up after the break. Fun fight. Not bad. I would say one of the weirder things about having the earpiece in is that you hear the commercial music, and sometimes they'll play a song that you like. For example, they have David Bowie's Starman playing in between the commercial breaks, which only makes me want to listen to David Bowie, but I am unable to. And I can't for sure play it on this because, Facebook being as it is. So, decision coming up in just a few seconds. Do you guys have a particular way that you saw that? Do you think I was wrong on that? Do you think Modafferi was winning and I'm just not seeing it? Because I'd love to hear your opinion and if you really think that's the case. In my opinion, I think we're at a place where Lauren Murphy will get the decision, and I think it will be close, but I feel fairly confident that she's going to be pulling out this decision. But again, I'm always interested to hear what you guys have to say. If you have differing opinions, that's what makes everything so great. All right, we're coming up on the decision in just a second, just to fill you guys in on that coming in. They're about to announce it in just a second. Stand by for your official results. I will tell them to you as they come in. What's up, Kyle? Thank you so much for your appreciation and your love. Judges' scorecard is 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. Lauren Murphy takes it. And rightfully so. Again, obviously, rough night for friends of the show. Lauren Murphy did a great job over here. Now is basically jumping on her coaches. And, there's a little bit of a makeout sesh. Okay, cool. Good for them. Lauren Murphy with 4 straight wins, impressing the folks all around. We're now going to be going live on Instagram in just a second. If you guys are so interested, you're welcome to join us anywhere that feels good to you. But we are having a great night of fights thus far in. All right. Let me go ahead and pull up a couple things for you guys. Hello. Thank you guys for all of the appreciation that you are giving us thus far in. We've already gotten likes. Again, to remind you guys, if you like or share this broadcast, you end up getting a cheers because we love you guys. If you don't, we don't hate you. It's just we struggle to find the words to say we love you when you don't. Just saying. It's just easier to love you guys that way. All right. Countdown to the fight night on ESPN will start at the 5 p.m. Best Coast time, which is not even going to be still into what I believe is Third Coast Grappling even airing. I think Third Coast starts at exactly 6 p.m. Best Coast time. Could be wrong on that, but we will be happy to keep you updated on that as things progress throughout the evening. It's very interesting. I thought I had my little... Fascinating. All right, what else do I have for you guys this evening? In case you guys are wondering, yes, tomorrow we will be doing another Fight Companion with our good friends from all over the place, joining us to watch the Submission Underground 14 event. Damn, dude, this guy's got a really good guillotine. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch. This is Frank Camacho, the Crank is his nickname, versus Justin James, who is Guitar Hero. Those are definitely two nicknames that I did not expect to see. There this is. What's your fighter nickname? Guitar Hero? No, but really, what is it, dude? It's Guitar Hero, bro. If you say so. Woof. Let me see. I think I have Johnny Hendricks doing commercials now. Oh, that's nice. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move this on over this way. Boom. All right. We are back. We are about to say hello to some friends on Instagram. Hope you guys are having a good time thus far. But let's go ahead and do one quick check to see if anything has progressed over on the ESPN MMA side. See if they have put up anything of worth note or of interest to you guys. Ooh. That's interesting. Blades odds. Let's look at these. I just want to show you guys before we move on to anything else. Look at what they have put as the odds. Nope, add to stream, please. There we go. Let me go and move that off. This has been favorite fighter. Curtis Blade has been the betting favorite for all 11 of his previous UFC fights and is favored again on Saturday. So he's been a heavy favorite in a number of his fights. His fight against Daniel Almazov was a negative 750. Yikes to that. All right, here we go. No, I don't want a photo. I would like to go live. As we say hello to everybody watching. Hello, friends. How are you guys doing? This is specifically to you guys on our Instagram, but we've also got people watching on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. We want to say hello to everybody. What is up, G Baby? Good to see you. What is up, Big Red? We are watching the UFC Fight Night Vegas :3. They have so many of these goddamn things now. It's hard to understand why they're just not calling them in regular sequence. No, that's not what we want. Sorry about that. Switching on over, saying hello to everybody who's joining us over on the Instagram side. We've already had 2 fights thus far in. Your winners for those 2 fights have been Austin Hubbard and one Lauren Murphy. It has been a fascinating evening thus far in. So even though we're live on those channels, we're also live on our Instagram. We're going to bring you coverage. The fight coming up next is Frank the Crank Camacho, who I believe has some submission wins, and Justin Guitar Hero James, which begs the question. If you're going to make your, UFC presence known, it might be smart to come up with a name for a current video game, like Justin Fortnite James. Might be a little bit more current. Guitar Hero is like we've been there. We've already done that. Just kind of saying. Those are just my opinions. What do I know? We also need to make sure that we put their names on blast so that they can see on the stream who is fighting. Whereas you guys here, you don't have the fancy graphics because Instagram's kind of moody about this sort of stuff. They don't like letting other broadcasts helpers come in to teach you guys how to use something. All right, let's go ahead and pull me full screen back on this. And then you have the name of the fighters right over there. Justin James right now being told he's a 250 plus. What is Justin Pokemon James? Because it's timeless. Whatever you say, nerd. I can't deal with you guys and your Pokemon. What's up, one Lalamas PR? Good to see you. Frank Camacho coming in, fighting out of Sapien, Northern Marina Islands. He is the favorite at a negative 330. Fight should be getting in just a second. once it does, I will be handling the coverage for you guys, hopefully keeping you up to date. We got Herb Dean in the middle of the octagon controlling the action. And I do detect an ever so slight wife beater, little farmer tan from one Justin James. It's not a super important detail, but it is funny just given the way the lights are shining. All right, here we go. Frank Camacho already starts off with the prayer hands at the two of them, and Justin James is not holding back. He is already starting to get as quick of a start as possible, just swinging, not super wildly, but with a lot of power inside of where he's going. Camacho looks like he's controlling just fine. This is actually, though, if he plays this sort of a game, that would be going straight into James's category. He blocks just barely, but gets popped nicely. Ooh, a nice knockdown from one Justin James. Now Camacho's on the run almost here. Now he's trying to tie up in there, and his response time is really slow. I think Herb is stopping this, and yep, you're seeing Frank the Crank Camacho wobbling a little bit. I mean, he's a little disappointed that they would have stopped that fight, but that is a completely valid call. Justin James was very, very, very smart in terms of trying to make this an ugly fight. I think he's now just noticing he got a gash on his top of his forehead. And he's like, yeah, okay, bro, it's kind of cool. No big deal. Then they're going to go and show in beautiful left over, and then a repeated left. The second left is what knocks him down. And for a split second, you do see Camacho starting to get back up. So for just maybe a few seconds, you get the idea he might be able to hang here. And then not so much, starts to run away. And I think it's just the sense that he left himself open. And watching how his arms started failing on him when he wanted to try and respond back. Herb Dean is 100% right on this call. What's up, Scotty? Good to see you, my friend. That's a great stoppage by one Herb Dean. This is a great fight for Justin James. All right, today you get to be Guitar Hero for one day. That's it. That's all I give you. I wonder what other names he must have went through. They're like, Justin, is Doom still a game? Justin Tetris James. I don't know. Now I'm just riffing. My dog is woken up, if that's any indication of how good that fight was. So just to give you guys some intel, some information. It's the third fight of the evening. We have a ton of fights left still for you guys. Don't forget, there's also Third Coast Grappling starting at 6 p.m. And in case you didn't see it on the emails that they send out, because they do send out plenty of emails from One Flow Grappling, the way that they are branding this particular one, what event are you watching? Right now I'm watching UFC Fight Night 3. Then later on we'll be doing coverage for both the Fight Night main card and for Third Coast Grappling. So thank you for asking. I thought we had made that clear, but it's always very important that we make sure we tell our fans exactly what we are watching. All right, here's what I see. This was the email I got from One Flow Grappling, which made me laugh. And it is, can Victor Hugo conquer this 8-man tournament? And then it just basically says, Third Coast Grappling, Kumite 2. This one's going to be wild. That's just them running out of shit to say. That makes me laugh. It's just short of them saying, Third Coast Grappling's Kumite 2. Yeah, watch it or don't. At this point, we don't even care. Justin James goes over, congratulates one Frank Camacho. The two of them just kind of now circling to talk to the same people. It looks like a procession a little bit. Must have had Camacho out on his feet, said Heidi Fang. That is correct. He really did. And this is, I think, the weirdest part about the post-fight proceedings. I'm starting to wonder, they create step and repeats for different events. What they should do is they should create a second octagon where they can do a step and repeat photo, because the selfie photo takes too goddamn long. They can do that shit on the after we talk to somebody. Like, if it's already taking long enough to wait to talk to this guy after the fight because they got to go to another room, set up an octagon outside that they can do after this, because this is The producer and me is going, all right, gents, let's wrap this up. Let's make this on the go. We'll be getting an interview with, I believe it's going to be Anik and Justin James, who, if I'm mistaken, will probably be super hyped for this one. I'll also be cheersing him in just a second. What's up, J. David Photo? Good to see you. Anik is saying to him, on Monday, you weren't on this card, but here you are today. Justin James is saying, hey, man, what a crazy 40 hours. 40 hours ago, he was in his room crying like a baby. It looked like he wanted to say bitch, but I think he couldn't figure out Disney's UFC policies for proper language. He says that he's visualized this moment for years. And he's complimenting Frank, saying he hits hard as hell, but he knew that he could hit him harder than he was getting hit. And he knew that he didn't like getting the overhand right. Now apologizes, says that he is at a loss for words, but I mean, pretty charged up nonetheless. Now Anik is saying, talk to us a little bit about your strategy. Oh, wow. Anik's like, were you worried that your cardio might have failed on you because of the last minuteness of this call? Cool shirt. Thank you. I know. It's from our good friends over at Newaza. I dig this one. There we go. He's catching himself. He's like, dude, I don't give an F, is what he's saying. Oh, wow. They said, could you make the weight? He goes, I showed up. I blowed up. What a weird thing. Hey, that's a great fight. Let's do some cheersing. Let's make sure that we're going to go ahead and properly acknowledge the folks who have been winning thus far in, because we got a couple folks that we need to cheers on this one. So the way our toasts work, it's pretty simple. If you get a stoppage or you finish within regulation, we give you a little bit of a toast. So earlier tonight, we had a cheers to one Austin Hubbard. Austin, this one goes out to you, man. You were putting it on him. And I got to tell you this. This is a really impressive showing by you, because not only were you doing some great striking, but you had some good submission defense. I looked at a couple of those heel hook and those leg attempts, and I was like, dude, this might be over. And you kept persistent. You stayed at it. So I want to send our deepest congratulations to one, Austin Hubbard. Congratulations to you on your performance here at UFC Fight Night Vegas 3. All right. So that's the first one. We've also got one that's got to go out to Justin James. So here's what I got to do. While we have a second, I'm just going to double check and make sure that Justin James, like, it really is a Guitar Hero. Is that really his name? Justin. I just want to know, because I'm about to toast this man. James, Guitar Hero. I think that's got to be integrated. Yeah, it really is his. So Justin Guitar Hero James is a 15-4 pro fighter out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and the number one ranked in pro men's welterweight in Michigan. All right. Well, what's up, Mr. Nom Noms? Good to see you, sir. Okay. This one goes out to Justin James. Hey, man, not only do I appreciate your ability to figure out that you're on air and not curse, which, I mean, you could have said bitch, I think, but I don't think you really wanted to say that. And you controlled yourself to say AF, which on ESPN, tough to do. But I want to give you a congratulations toast here, because you got the knockout victory. You were able to get Herb Dean to stop it, and it was a beautifully, beautifully done barrage of punches that made it happen. But really, can we work on Guitar Hero? Because I feel like there's another nickname we can give you at this point, especially after a performance like that. Nonetheless, cheers to you, sir. What's up, the Biscuit 11? Good to see you guys. We are watching UFC Vegas 3, which is really fight night. I don't get their hashtag sometimes. Now they're just starting all over again, is whenever they're saying UFC Vegas 3. It sounds like we're going back to UFC 1, which is not the case. And as it is, it always gets weird whenever you look at the UFC's track record. Like, can you imagine once we actually get to the thousands? UFC 1029 explosion. What's up, Ben? Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you guys watching along with us. If you like and share this on Facebook, we will give you a toast just like we did for the fighters, because honestly, you're more important than the fighters. Don't tell them that, but I mean, you are. Just in our hearts, in our heads, in our minds. That's what makes this fun to do. So actually, we're going to be coming up on our next fight in just a second. We'll give you guys a little bit of a clue of who's coming up next. It is Courtney Casey versus Gillian Robertson. So that is the next fight we've got coming up for you guys. Let us know what you're thinking of this so far. Again, tomorrow we're going to be doing Submission Underground 15. There is some great matchups on this one. If you guys have not been paying attention, I'm super stoked for this one that's coming up. UFC's given a nice series of props to, was this Dom Reyes? No, Shane Burgos. It is 5 knockouts. No, 5 submissions, 5 knockouts, and 3 decisions for him. Good for him. Shane Burgos has a lot of an emerging career that we are excited to see a little bit later this evening. Let me go ahead and see if there's been any updates on the ESPN coverage side, because we want to get you guys something fun and pretty to look at while we always wait. This is also on this day. Is it really this day? Yeah, it was on this day. It is hard to forget this was a thing. But on this day, back in 2004, you had Rampage Jackson powerbombing his way out of a triangle. I still think it's one of the most iconic things ever. And usually what I try to tell people, please don't make me have to powerbomb me or powerbomb you if I'm doing any kind of triangle escape. Props to, what a different time. That was when Rampage was like the fighter, man. All right, we've got to make sure that we put up the names of Courtney Casey and Jillian Robertson going on right now. I think they're not quite going to make their way out just yet, but I want to make sure we switch on our main broadcast. So anyway, to our people on Instagram, are you guys giving us any of those likes, those little things? I think you can ask me questions too. You can. There's a little thing that said questions. If you guys throw questions at me there, I can implement them on that stream. And then for those of you guys who are watching on our Facebook, love and appreciate you guys. Do us a solid. If you share and you like the show, then we will give you a nice little toast and we'll make it fun for everybody. All right. What else do we have for you guys? We should be sharing this on one other avenue, which I believe is going to be our, I'm able to multitask over on this. Shows that I can play this while I'm actually on other apps as well. This is technology. I kind of love this. Literally on my iPad, and I can check in and do fun things like this. Look, right over here's the broadcast while I'm checking in on our streams on our other locations. What's up, Colin? Good to see you, sir. Are you back to training yet, sir? If so, I hope it is going well. Not well enough to beat me, but like well-ish. So like, does that make sense? Cool. All right. Let me go and pull this on over. I want to make sure we're sharing this on all of our major broadcast areas. This one is going to now be shared from Grappling Hour. What's this? Soon, hopefully. All right. I hear you, man. It is hard to keep a consistent training schedule going on right now, just based off of everybody living through the COVID. So if you guys are training, we wish you the best right now. Obviously, these are odd times, but if you are not training, we hope you find something that keeps you busy, something you like to do. Stimulate the brain, stimulate the body. Don't give me the middle finger. You know, I'm speaking nothing but the truth. I mean, there's nothing more that I would like than to beat you up, but we have to wait. But soon enough, we will be training soon, and I look forward to that. I don't have any new photos for you guys just yet because it appears I don't know exactly what the situation is for coverage for fighters on these events. It looks like they were starting to implement more people in there, but I don't really see any live photos happening just yet. They might be waiting for the main event. But I'm keeping an eye out. If you guys see any cool things that you go and want to put out there, let us know. I want to show you guys this photo. Again, I hate it because it's to one of our friends. But this is earlier this evening that you have one Austin Hubbard getting a nice cross on over on Max. It's a tough one. It's a beautiful photo, though. Then on the other side, you've also got, what is it? It's been tough. No training since March. Only light training at home. Man, you're telling me, dude. Because the hardest part of it, I think, about getting used to the not being able to train is this is how I keep the weight off, is doing jiu-jitsu. Not doing jiu-jitsu makes things very difficult. What's up, Timon? 89. Yeah, I'm looking forward to when we can all get back to our normal schedule, because I would love to be able to shed some of these LBs that I've gotten since COVID. And I'm not even trying to like be Mr. Fitness. I'm just trying to be able to eat what I like to eat and call it a nice day. So for those of you on our YouTube and Facebook, you see the photo of Austin Hubbard doing some work, but there's also a really cool photo that they have on this page of one Lauren Murphy. I like these photos. These are pretty solid. What does it say? Tito tapped. Are they referring to Tito Ortiz and Chael Sonnen? Is that one of Chael Sonnen's dummies that's coming in and trying to say how good he is? Kind of like Hickson's armbar. Smart move, guys. Comment sections. Always the bane of human existence. We are waiting to go back into the next fight. If you guys are joining us, feel free to watch along. If you don't want to watch along and you just want to hear my voice narrate what's happening, I'm fine with that too. I'm just saying it's an awesome responsibility, and I thank you for giving it to me. We're back cage side right now. We should be seeing it. Tail of the tape is 33 versus 25 years old. Courtney Casey, the elder, plus you've got 5'7" to 5'5", 123 to 125 in terms of the weight, and a reach advantage to one Courtney Casey over Jillian Anderson's 63 reach. What is up, Colnor? What is up, John Michael Clay? John Michael Clay, that's actually a pretty cool name. You sound like you might have been in the band Primus, and I just never knew it. Or Tool. Take your pick. All right, here we go. We're about to come up on this next fight. I hope you guys are ready for it. They're doing the introductions. Bruce Buffer is back on the call. What is Mr. Mendizi? That's a funny name. All right, good for you. And they are showing the different fighters at the moment. If I remember correctly, Courtney Casey got an armbar finish recently on these these COVID-inspired cards. I couldn't believe that she was going to be able to pull off that arm bar, because most people are unable to finish an arm bar in fighting, period. But I believe she got it from guard, and that was super impressive. Jason Harzog gets the ability to go and officiate today's proceedings on the inside. Meanwhile, Gillian Robertson has the colored hair, so they're coming in right now. Elizabeth Clay is also a cool name. Yeah, it's true. Not going to lie on that one. We begin 4:45 right now on fight time, left over on this side. Robertson starting very, very slowly, pacing around Courtney Casey, switching the arms ever so slightly. Courtney Casey also has the hair up in a bun, just in case you're confused as to who is who. Courtney Casey also with the darker apparel versus Robertson's very bright reddish vibe that she's got going on, almost like maroonish. Casey connects very, very slightly, but very nicely thus far in. You're going to see Jillian Robertson get a very slow but steady takedown over on this side. All right, let me see. Pushing in. Now you're going to see her try to go to mount. Now, if you've paid any attention to this, you do not want Courtney Casey to go ahead and work from guard. And this is very important that Jillian Robertson takes her time on getting this pass. She is in about half guard right now. She has her head in a very solid position underneath. Courtney Casey's trying to throw some strikes. However, they don't have much impact because she is pressed up against the mat. if she is able to slowly and surely, and I'm talking about Gillian Robertson here, make sure that she secures this pass, she's going to have the ability to put some hurt on Courtney Casey from a position she wouldn't be able to do much from. So this is a very solid position for her to be in. Bisping is also now trying to advise what to do from a jiu-jitsu standpoint, and I'd rather hear it from Dom. Thanks, but no thanks, Bisping. Appreciate you. Wasn't a ton of great jiu-jitsu I ever saw from Michael Bisping, so just saying. Boom. Now I like this. Courtney is trying to get to her side, and you are seeing Jillian Robertson use almost this crossface grip to get underneath the chin. She should be able to slide her knee out and almost setting up kind of like this Darce and chasing it. Now she's got the leg blocked. She should be able to take side control from here if she just readjusts ever so slightly. Dominic is now playing a very nice complimentary game of saying that Robertson is doing a great job of controlling. And instead, Jillian switches to the other side, now still back in half, but took a second to go ahead and get a couple strikes in while she had the opportunity to do so. I dig that. Good work by her. 2 minutes left to go in this fight. What's up, Grappling Science? Good to see you. It's always great to see your breakdowns. Loving what you do. You do great, great work. I always get really excited when you have charts and very long-winded story posts, but good posts. Just, maybe, like space them out or cut down. It's just the writer in me. Sometimes I just want to get the red pen out. Anyway, you do great work. Here's what we got. 143 left to go in this. He's got Courtney Casey underneath trying to get a little bit of separation between the two of them. However, Jillian Robertson is on her. This is a very difficult thing to press off. And the more that she leaves her back open, the more that you see Jillian get a little bit more confident in this almost snake-like way of trying to progress in the positioning. Now she's going to come on over to the side. I would love if she would be able to continuously just control here. Great regard by Courtney Casey, who gets her back to half guard after looking a little bit in trouble for just a few seconds over on this side. Now Courtney Casey trying to press down on the head with her half, almost using like a knee shield to go and keep her from advancing any position here while shoveling the head down, trying to get back to her knee to get back up and start standing back up. But that's not happening here. Jillian Robertson is very patient, and I appreciate that for her game here. Donna Clark is saying it is position over submission for her, so that's super nice to hear. I think when you end up going to the second round, I think there's going to be a major adjustment by Courtney Casey. I've seen her enough to know she doesn't love being in this position, and that when she does come back into a different round, she becomes very, very aggressive in that next round. So just as a heads up to you guys on what could be something that we see coming up very shortly. Anyway, as we like to remind people, if you are tuning in on YouTube or Facebook or even on here, but mostly those channels, if you guys give us a like and a share, we give you a cheers just like we do for those who get finishes within regulations. So, just saying, if you guys do that, we're not opposed to giving you guys a very nice toast. And those of you who are watching on Instagram, I totally understand. You don't have the ability to share it. But if you give some hearts, I'll give you some, one of these. I can give you finger guns like that. We're at a commercial right now, so you're not missing much. Just kind of what we call vamping in the industry, which is short for stalling. What's up, Sir Kobo? You can tell my eyesight's going because I looked at it and I thought it said, "Sup, bro?" at the very bottom. I was like, that's a cool nickname, bro. Subro indeed. All right, what do I got for you guys? We're going to have a guest showing up in just a little bit. He just messaged me. So if you guys are watching on the Facebook or YouTube streams, you'll see it. And once he comes on, we'll probably switch to just that as a telecast. But for right now, it's just me holding it down solo for you guys. We're going over to the second round in just a second. But before we do, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. We love you guys. That's exactly what I thought. Right now, they're giving some intel of they overheard, and this is Dominic Cruz who's giving a summarization that Courtney Casey's coach wants her to take control of that cage, wants to go directly center. Don't let her implement her game because she's probably going to end up getting tired by all of this. What's up, Ramiro Angel? What's up, bro? Yep, now Courtney Casey's coming out swinging. This is great. There's a beautiful combo by her. Jillian Robertson going in for a takedown, level changed ever so quietly, does get the takedown. Now Courtney Casey's at least able to start trying to implement a little bit of a rubber guard, trying to get her full guard over this way. Now almost sifting through for a split second to see if she was going to go to almost a single leg guard. Now pulls herself firmly into guard, which is actually where Courtney Casey would love for her to be. Yikes, this is not great. Again, be very cautious of her armbar from guard. I cannot warn you enough from this. Nobody ever wants to get caught with an armbar from guard, but it has happened with her in her last fight, which was only a couple months ago. Just saying. Nothing much happening here. Continuously still working from guard. You're seeing Courtney Casey underneath trying to get some rabbit punches behind the back of her head, which are not getting at all mocked or told not to do. Courtney Casey trying to go a little bit higher on the guard and misses an opportunity. May now be opening over to Jillian Robertson, who's going to have the ability to just continue passing. Now, no, you lift your arm in there when I told you not to. 1 second, you were seeing Courtney Casey trying to pry the arm out with her. Her right knee is stuck. So now, Courtney Casey, you have Michael Bisping saying this is a good enough position to try and get an armbar from, which he is right in one sense, which is that her right knee is folded in. However, she was able to pull this off the last time, so I wouldn't exactly tell her she is not able to do that. So now Jillian Robertson, being very spatially aware of where she is going to try and do the very difficult thing of passing guard, is able to do it. Now she just needs to control that left leg continuously. It's like she almost puts herself back into guard each and every time here. And yet she's done all of the excellent work of passing each time. Like, this is a consistently very persistent person. And at the same point, it's very disarming to see her not be able to have the benefit of working from that side control right then and there. Dominic Cruz now giving shit to Michael Bisping on the commentary track, which makes us a fan. We love it. I love this. Dominic Cruz is trying to keep us on task. What's up, Chance? Good to see you, bud. We need to do a beer interview very soon. You are on my list. You should be coming up, I think, next. But I've got you down. I have not forgotten about you, my friend. Courtney Casey doing a good job of getting a hook on the inside. This might be able to help her a little bit. The only problem is she's being weighed down a little bit right now by Jillian Robertson, who's just going almost like on a tripod to try and keep her from getting back up. Courtney Casey trying to gram beat underneath. Nothing really doing there. It's just kind of like putting her in a still motion of movement, one might say. It's not a really good way of phrasing any of that. Wow. Jillian Robertson now just about into full mount. Courtney Casey once again getting a good elbow escape. I mean, it's exhausting, but it's almost like Courtney Casey, in doing something, is giving up her head and arm choke. She has to get the leg all the way through. She's going to give it up and instead opt to start getting some hammer fists being thrown from the position here. Just to let you guys know, we are watching UFC Vegas 3. It is Courtney Casey and Jillian Robertson, with Jillian Robertson looking very strong for the past 2 rounds. 17 seconds left to go in the second round. We will likely see a third round in just a second. But so far, the story has been one, Jillian Robertson and her jiu-jitsu controlling and just neutralizing every aspect of fight in Courtney Casey thus far in. We will hear a horn, which means we continue on. fun night so far. Hope you guys are enjoying our coverage. If you are, or you are not, that's not my problem. I'm just kidding. I mean, we just love you guys. What's up, Leonidas? Good to see you, bud. Hope you were enjoying the fights thus far in. I want to give you guys some reminders. If you are liking and you want to get a cheers, what we're doing here, just give us a like and a share on the broadcast. And if you do, we give you a nice toast on air. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. They're now showing some ESPN commercials from yesteryear to remind us of the greatness of ESPN when we used to have other sports. It's been a while. It will probably be a while before we see that again. So just to keep you guys updated, they're also showing some nice things here. Would love to see more output on the top, especially since Casey is having trouble getting up off the bottom. I would agree with you, Chance, except for one thing. Courtney Casey is actually pretty adept at jiu-jitsu herself. You'll see all of her abilities to kind of say like, hey, I'm underneath, but I can get her to half guard. I can get her consistently here. And one thing about Courtney Casey is in her last fight, she did have an armbar from guard. So she does have some good jiu-jitsu game that's getting very well neutralized by Gillian Robertson. Gillian Robertson, I mean, has the amount of control and patience that I love in jiu-jitsu. I think that she's just trying to methodically tire her out here. So we'll see, because Courtney Casey's been really looking really solid on the stand-up thus far in. That's why you're seeing Jillian Robertson try to take her down as frantically as she has been in this time. Yeah, of course, no disrespect to each other games. I know you're not super disrespectful, dude. There we go. I know you're not being disrespectful, dude. You're being a jiu-jitsu guy. When jiu-jitsu guys watch these things, it's hard for us not to just go like, hey, I would like to do this. I do it all the time too. What's up, Jack R, 1982? That's a good year. Courtney Casey going to the stomach, taking a moment to recalibrate now, is coming in back aggressively over on Jillian Robertson. She's starting to dangle that right arm from underneath, gets a kick to the head that she checks, and now starts pouncing back on Jillian Robertson. She knows that she is behind on this card, and I think that she knows that she needs to make up the difference in this third round. What's up, Chris? Good to see you, bud. Hope everything is going well in Vegas. Continuously swinging. 3:45 left to go in the spout so far. Courtney Casey looking much better in this round than she has in the entire rest of the fight thus far in. So hopefully we continue to see this progression go on. Now coming in, for a split second, you saw a level change. Nice kick to the head by one Jillian Robertson, and she is continuously looking for ways to set up this takedown. Going in for the single, Courtney Casey this time stuffing it a little bit better, and no, just kidding. No, she didn't, and now she is actually in guard. So you got Jillian Robertson, who is being kind of just stalled into guard. I don't think you can elbow someone's back, but Courtney Casey seems to just figure, why the hell not? Do it anyway. Referee looks a little iffy on this one. And with 75% of takedown attempts from one Jillian Robertson, you have to respect that she has 3 for 4 on her takedowns as the little stat flies in and out of frame over on this way. Okay. Not really sure that we're seeing too much from this position over here. Courtney Casey with this armbar again. Very quick sneaks it in. She's not quite 100% there, but it is getting ever so close. She's now starting to belly down. The positioning is just a little bit off, but she has now created a halt to the proceedings. One, Jillian Robertson is taking her time to try and respect this position, not freaking out. But Courtney Casey, this is where she feels very at ease. She might be able to transition her back over. She has good grip on this arm, and she has to let it go. Man, that was a great attempt. What I tell you guys about Courtney Casey, do not sleep on her arm bars. I'm just saying, simple tape review footage. Look and know that your opponent is able to do those things. 155 left to go in this round. And that's the most significant thing that we've seen aside from the takedown. So tough to say, but Courtney Casey usually fights very well from inside of her guard. Now you're seeing Robertson try to find the inside of where she can just start punching from inside of the guard. Not too much happening there. What's up, John Torres? How come it's taking you so long to like the grappling hour? Rude. Courtney Casey trying to hammer fist on out. Now pulls Jillian Robertson back into her guard and keeps cinching up for that higher guard each time. I think the high guard sneak into an armbar has been something she has consistently been able to do. Meanwhile, Gillian Robertson is now trying to time her out. What's up, Bobby? Good to see you. As she is starting to advance in position, she is in half guard. Courtney is doing her best to just try and pass. She's now almost in a lockdown-ish element. I wouldn't call it traditional lockdown because it's just not doing much with it. And it does look effortlessly able, like Robertson is able to kind of segue out of it. And now you see Courtney Casey kind of pulling on a leg, just hoping something will happen. Not real strategy based on that part. Just kind of, hey, listen, I'm just trying to get by. And now maybe giving up her back as a result of it. You do see, Jillian Robertson is in on a rear naked choke, and she gets a submission with 27 seconds left to go. That's dope. Good for her. I don't know what Courtney Casey is saying. I think she might be telling the medics that she is fine. What is up, Tillis? Good to see you, bud. Look at this effortless transition over here. While she is able to go and make the move very, very quickly over to the side, gets the rear naked choke underneath. Well done. Slow burn. Yeah, very much so. I mean, that's what I appreciate about it. It looked like she was trying to cook her the whole time. I just wasn't 100% sure she was going to be able to get that submission in. But she read it. She had it very, very well researched, and she did her thing. My ESPN app has like 1 minute behind you. Womp, womp. I know. It sucks. So I've been finding that our ESPN apps are usually, for whatever reason, not really synchronized. We do our best to just try and give you the play-by-play, so it's not a super amount of surprise. But we do hope that you guys like hearing at least us giving you the live time results as they come up. We now go to the official decision, and I'll go ahead and give you a summary of essentially what it is, but we know who wins. They have the the extreme close-up on Courtney Casey. It just like didn't work for me. Sorry, guys. Jillian Robertson, the Canadian, getting it done over here. Round 3 with 4:36 time on the official stoppage. We're going to give a second to go ahead and do that. Meh, I'm not worried about it. Me neither, my friend. I'm just saying things to be platitude-ish. All right, they're going to be interviewing her in a second, and I'll go ahead and give you guys a summary of that in just a second. Just to fill in on what's going on, we're watching UFC Vegas 3. They're just running out of names for these things. Later this evening, we're going to be watching Third Coast Grappling. We're going to have some friends joining us a little bit later on in the telecast. But for now, we are watching the, the prelims. I'm out of here, brother. Brisa says hi. Say hello to her. Hope you guys are doing well. It's good to see you, bud. I'll see you a little bit later. Taylor Tay was basically just getting takedowns and imposing your will. Good coverage. Thanks. I'll be coming here more often when you're live. Take care. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. We always have fun. I'll go ahead and give you guys some cheers. Cheers to my best friend, Robbie, and cheers to one Rolamaz PR. Good to see you. Appreciate it. And again, just to remind you guys, if you want to cheers or a toast, all we ask is that you give us a like and a share on our stream right now going on Facebook. Anik is now talking to one Jillian Robertson. Let's see how Canadian her accent is. Very. It's very polite so far. She is 8-4 on wins. She has finished 7 out of 8 of her wins. She's saying that she didn't really have this fight go the way that she wanted. She wanted to display a little bit more of her ground and pound, but one of her coaches was yelling, it's not too late for a finish, and there you go. You get it. So she's saying that no matter what, the rear naked choke is her main submission. You give her an opportunity, she's going to take it with no problems asked. And that interview is done. I guess that, with an almost full fight, I can see that they're going to cut that one just a smidge shorter than normal. So I kind of get that. What's up, Chance Snyder? All right, this one's going to go on out to you guys. To one, Chance Snyder, thank you very much. Appreciate the love here, bud. You are always one of our biggest supporters. We love and appreciate all that you do. This cheers goes out to you, my friend. All right. I like this. The All-In Challenge is teaming up with the Raiders to go to a very, very important charity. So those of you who donate, that goes to a charity known as the Raiders. Too much. The stadium does look really nice. It does also look like a hockey puck kind of a thing to me. Maybe that's just me. Now we're in 15 minutes before we go to the main card, but don't worry, we've got more coming up. This is going to be Borough versus Picciotto. Let me hear how they pronounce it. Picciotto. Ooh. Okay, so it's Marc, Oscar, Burial versus Oscar Picciotto, which is not how they're spelled. So I'll give you guys that. Very excited for this night's fights that are yet to come. We still have Third Coast Grappling a little bit later, so I hope you guys are excited for that. That's going to be a savage, and it is going to be a very fun time. Oscar Picciotto is coming up next, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one on out for you guys. So in case you were wondering what fight we are on, this is going to be the one. Let me see if I got any new photos for you guys to check on out while we have been updating things over on this side of the world on MMA Junkie, which does seem to be the only place that has photos coming up. Ooh. Let's share this one. This is a beautiful shot. This is from Chris Unger Photography. Appreciate their great work, but look at that photo. It was 41 seconds, and it is J09 me. Quickly TKO'd Frank Camacho on 2 days' notice. 2 days' notice. That's incredible. I didn't, Anik was saying he didn't know as early as Monday that he was on the card, but 2 days' notice. That's crazy. All right, we'll come back to more of those photos in a little bit. We'll keep you guys updated. And again, if you're watching here on our Instagram, just to let you know, once the hour is up, we'll be switching on over fully to our Facebook and YouTube coverage, which, by the way, is a good time to go ahead and double check what's going on those pages. So if you guys are watching on Facebook, give us some comments, questions, concerns, hints, allegations, all that good stuff. What is up? Jay Honey 50 Oliveira, good to see you. Glad you were choosing to check in with us. Uh-oh. I got something over here. Somebody said something. It says Wagwan. Sorry, I just see this now. What's up, Jack Williams? What does Wagwan mean? Don't know. But let's go ahead and see what else has been happening. Just checking in on who's saying hello, who's dropping us a nice light note, etc., etc. We'll be keeping up to date on as many things as possible. I always love to see you guys put in comments where you can. We implement them into the show because you guys are part of the show as well. Thus far in, we've had a pretty decent night of fights. We've seen one, I think it is Andrew. Sorry, I forget his first name. What is this? What's up, Real Long Dog 101? Good to see you. Austin Hubbard getting a stoppage in between rounds over Max Roxoff versus Roxanne Modafferi losing, coming up a little short against Lauren Murphy. Then, of course, Justin Guitar Hero James, who we were just talking about and showing that photo, getting that TKO in just 40 some odd seconds. And, of course, Courtney Casey putting up a nice armbar attempt somewhere in that second round, ends up getting a losing side to one Gillian Robertson, who finds a rear naked choke with just 27 seconds left to go in their fight. Next coming up, Marc-Andre Borough versus Oscar Picciotto. So that is coming up next, just in case you guys are wondering how the fights are progressing. At 6 o'clock their time, no, 6 o'clock our time, is when Third Coast Grappling begins. So we still have a lot of fight coverage for you guys this evening. We'll try and keep things fresh. We'll try and keep you guys updated as the night is going on. But I do believe that the telecast will stop here at some point. So if we are in the middle of the fight and it stops, I'm very sorry. Feel free to join us at Grappling Hour on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, any one of those. You'll see what the broadcast looks like, and you'll see some of the photos that we're putting up on there. So we just want to make sure you guys are all aware of what is happening before anything goes. And I'm not sure if my battery is going to die at any point. Let me just see right here. I got 7% left on this battery, and I will let you know I did charge this before, so I'm gonna have to charge it again. So this is about to stop any second now on our Instagram. We thank you guys for joining us on that. We may be back a little bit later, but for right now, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you a little bit later. Peace. All right, so we are now in the process of getting ready to watch the exciting bout between Oscar Picciotto and Marc-Andre Barut. All right, video's ended. Let us not delete it. Let's share to Instagram and write a quick little thing. And he is fighting out of Quebec City, Quebec, Canada. What did they say his nickname was? Chris Tione is going to be your referee for this fight. Let me see here. Residence Power Bar is his nickname. Oh, Jesus. Marc-Andre Power Bar. That's ridiculous. Okay, sure, whatever you say. What's up, Vernon? Good to see you, bud. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you guys joining us. If you're just joining us now, you're here for some summarization and some live yucks as we watch UFC's fight night for UFC Vegas 3. Already, Marc-Andre is living up to Power Bar. So, takes a nice little uppercut there for a split second. Interesting beginning to this fight thus far in. I'm going to put this on up to our fans. Join us for some fight cover. Bam. Boom. All right. We have now shared this on over. One more again. Appreciate you guys watching along, having fun with us this evening. We're doing our best to try and keep as many comments and notes throughout the evening. What's up, Gabe? Good to see you again. And just to remind you guys, if you give us a share and a like, we give you a cheers on air like we do when we toast all of the people who get these amazing finishes, so you guys can help us out. That's if you like the show, and we very much appreciate you guys giving us some love. We see it all the time, and it is super great. Let me see, Vegas 3. Let's go. Boom. Here we go. Oh, shit. What's up, Margaret? Good to see you. Cheers. Love that. Love the appreciation. Love you always giving us the love on this side. All right. That's doing a quick upload on the Instagram, and you're seeing, just in terms of how this fight is playing out, this is really nice thus far in. You're seeing Oscar put up a nice series of counter strikes. But yeah, Marc-Andre is really like, he has somewhere else to be. I think it's almost like he's got a flight that he didn't leave enough time to check his bags into. That's the kind of urgency that he is fighting with this evening. You're gonna have to make sure in between rounds I recharge this phone because we were doing it off of Instagram and the battery started getting drained. So that's not a you problem, that's a me problem. Right now, they continue on. 2:53 left to go in this round. First round. Burial still doing a good job of controlling the center of the octagon. Now coming in with a couple of strikes. Good combination for him. This being said that he is looking for that knockout, and I mean, it is hard to disagree with that in terms of how he's trying to get the strike off. He comes in with a almost rushed uppercut. It was like a Superman uppercut. So Bisping is also urging him to kind of be more cautious of how he's doing it. Gabe, again, cheers to you, good sir. Just saw you liked again the show. Appreciate that. For those of you just watching and tuning in right now, we are watching UFC Vegas 3, and you are seeing Burial coming in with an overhand series that is becoming problematic for one Picciotto. Gets very aggressively done here. Small cage and great footwork at the bigger weight class forces this pace. Not according to Dana White. He was very bitchy about the myth of the smaller octagon, though I think it's hard to argue with some of it. there's less for them to be able to run to. It should be able to force them. I mean, just looking at this, it is interesting. So appreciate the love there, Chance. If you guys are just tuning in, we hope you're enjoying it. 122 left to go in this fight. Nice knee by one Picciotto. I'm just going to keep changing the way I say his name because it says Picciotto. That should be the way we pronounce his name. That's the real American way of pronouncing a name. Ooh, uppercut of doom. No. Ooh. And you're seeing Picciotto now starting to absorb some of those shots in a way that is concerning to the rest of us. Ooh. Oh, my God. That's some rock'em sock'em uppercuts right there. That pop on the head is just concerning. Now coming over top, underneath, and now he's able to almost grab the back of the head to wind up even just that little bit more. Picciotto is now a little bit on Dream Street, but he might be able to survive to the second round. Nice kick over by Borough, who's now coming in again, very, very aggressive, but still composed. Nice. Now pushing him up against the cage where that uppercut is just problematic. Comes in for that like elbow on the inside, doesn't quite get it. Now the two of them are still trying to figure out how they're going to finish this. 13 seconds left to go. If you are Burial, you and your squad are probably feeling really good right now as you go into the second. And you got Picciotto going in for a takedown, getting nothing for it except for a series of just hammer fists. No, thank you. We cut to now the second round in just a second. We have a break. Oof. Oof. Let me just charge this. Did not bring my charger. Yikes. Okay. Fortunately, I do come prepared for these situations somewhat. So we're going to go ahead and charge this off of the back computer. Anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast thus far in. We have a lot of fights still to go, but thus far in, this is a really fun fight to watch. I like the heavy striking between both of these heavier guys, and more importantly, I like the fact that they are acting like they got somewhere else to be before the night is through. So what else do I have for you guys? If you are so interested in throwing some comments, concerns, hints, allegations anywhere into the comment section, do us a solid. Do so right now because I can implement them into the broadcast as you guys are saying them. One of the beauties of going live is the fact that I can take what you guys are saying and I can bring it into the broadcast because that adds a nice little sauce, top sauce to the beginning of this beautiful little thing that we like to call a fight companion. And again, Borough is not wasting any time, coming right back in, stalking. Nice Picciotto for his own set of uppercuts on this, but Borough he just figures to let his chin absorb all of it and see what happens as a result. Borough blocks a shot on over, and I think he's trying to look, and he might have him timed out pretty well here. Gets a kick on out. And a weird I just love this weird kind of backhand that he throws. What else do I have for you guys? I'm just letting you know this has been a very fun night of fights thus far in. Spinning back fist, nothing doing there, nothing super landing. Comes on in, tries to push him around, bully him a little bit more. Picciotto. Oh, so this is another Drysdale guy. I did not know that, but now I do. So Drysdale in the corner of Picciotto. And Borough is just putting it on him right now. This is nice return though by Picciotto. This always makes me nervous. It makes me think, like, do I know some of these guys? The answer is sometimes yes. And Picciotto comes in, series of uppercuts again. Now that he's pushing him up against the cage, what he does is he tends to grab the back of the head and just start unloading. Now you see Borough back in the center of the octagon. Borough going for a takedown is going to get it. Now he's probably going to cinch his way on over. If there is any type of guillotine that's going to happen, it's going to have to be right now. But this is a takedown that's going to bode very well for Borough if Picciotto does nothing with it. So just as your heads up on that side. What else? Nothing much movement-wise is happening, so we're just going to kind of chill here. I'm going to go ahead and say thank you to everybody watching. We appreciate you guys. You know we love you. There we go. Now you're seeing with this from underneath, Berhalter was almost there at a 100% sweep. Kind of gives it up as Berhalter just is easily just making his way there. Now, Berhalter has the opportunity to get a sweep here, but isn't really making use of it. Instead, is still trying to think if he can get this guillotine here, and there's not much there. It's a difficult place to be in for him. Nice counter punch by Juan Berhalter there. Burial again going back to stalking him like Jason in a fucking Friday the 13th movie. Nice series of punches, blocks one, gets one. And Berhalter now trying to time out Berryholt. Misses it, gets taken on the inside, another uppercut. An overhand right. These are sucky punches to watch someone get hit with. Continuing. Look at this. This is beautiful to see. Just very, very controlled, very composed by Berryholt here. Berhalter tries to come in with the overhand right, doesn't make much with it. $50 seconds left to go in this second round of a 3-round fight between the two of these gents. And Berryholt now starting to see a little bit of desperation now. Berhalter is almost even things out in the second round. It was a very close first round, actually, just in terms of strikes. But in terms of power, I would still say that Berryholt looks very much ahead on this. Yeah, Berryholt's been on this guy for a bit. Oh, starting to falter. I think at this point we might see a stoppage coming in. Yeah, I'm not seeing him defend himself, and this has got to be the end of it. And we get a finish. Referee now telling Berhalter to just chill where he is. Don't try and get up. Whew. Yikes. All right. Well, what can I tell you guys? I mean, Berryholt deserved every part of that. That was aggressive. I understand now why they call him power bar, because it looks like it doesn't deplete on him. I'll say that again when I do the cheers for him. That seems like a good line. Eek. What do I tell you guys? That was a good fight. I hope you guys enjoy it. All right. One of my friends on their Instagram has been doing nothing but putting up delicious food, and it is becoming problematic. So let me see what else I got for you guys. Let's see if there's any updates on any of the other sites that we can show you guys. I mean, I would love for somebody to already have I know it's already too soon, but if anybody has any good photos of that fight, just so that you guys can get an idea of how much yikes when Berryholt was packing throughout this series. You know, I'm so charged on this one. I do want to show you guys this result. Let's go and look at how that last fight ended with one Gillian Robertson. I mean, just watch this transition and look at how her control, she effortlessly glides. Like most people would be content to try and get the hooks in to begin with, but she didn't even really need the hooks here. I'm going to show it one more time. This is beautifully done. She starts over on one side of the body, and instead of getting the hooks, just glides over to the other half. When she glides on over, she has the perfect positioning for underneath the chin, and then boom, No hook, no hook, no hook. Just right there. Good enough control underneath the chin for her to go ahead and get that submission there. So, Gillian Robertson, I don't know that we've cheersed you, but I think we might need to again just because of how dope that is. We are now at the official decision, and they're going to be talking to one Barry Holt. None of them have said it the same way. So you've got Anik who says burial, and then you say Bruce Buffer who just goes burial, which no consistency, my friends. So I'm just going to cheers them however I want to. All right. Let me go ahead and put this on out to the gent who we just saw going on right now. This cheers goes on out to one Marc-Andre Burial. Dude. Look at the power in there. You were coming out so aggressively. It was so intense. You were looking with every combination. You have one of the best uppercuts that I think I see out there in the game currently. I was a little wondering why your nickname is Power Bar, but I think from this fight alone, you can pretty much tell it's a pretty apt nickname. So to you, good sir, I say congratulations. Good work on that stoppage. You worked overtime for it, and you got it just at that nick of that second round, and it was well-deserved. Here you go. Cheers to you, sir. Oh, yikes. Lots of yikes. Let's see what he has to say over on the post presser as he just wants to drink something, but instead he has to talk to Anik. So he did one of those like, hey, what's up? Lots of very nice conditional French-Canadian niceness. He has 9 wins by knockout. He said that he came to do a real dogfight, and he likes fighters that do that. So he's saying he made a huge reset, or in his accent, I made a huge reset with my team. The tattoos on him are also something to be of note. I'm going to see if I can pull those in. Tonight you see the real Power Bar. I want a new contract. Like what a great thing. Like no one refers to themselves in that way unless they're in a Rocky movie. You see the real Power Bar. I'm gonna see if I can get this photo over on this. And that way I can bring it over to you guys. I just want to bring up his tattoos because I think this is worth noting on this. It's not letting me get a clean shot off on this, but I'm going to do my damnedest. Boom. All right. Some of these photos, though, we apparently... Hi, Andrew is giving us, I guess, some backdrop. They're going to say what's up to Tisha Torres on their broadcast. So that is what's going on there. While you guys are still checking it out with us, we appreciate your time, your patience, your love. We always love when you guys check in with us and watch fights. We have had a pretty good card so far. Again, just to remind you, Third Coast Grappling coming up a little bit later. We will be doing our best to watch all the events as they are happening live. Yes, we will be multitasking because we are those people. My appreciation to all of you who are watching in on this telecast. You guys are the real heroes. I think. I don't know if that's really something that people say anymore. But super stoked for it. I'm going to go ahead and not share this and instead share something else so that way you guys can see what I'm talking about in terms of the tattoos here. You know, sometimes bad tattoos in the UFC go to a graveyard, but I think that Burial's tattoos weren't that bad, dude. I was pretty impressed. because it looks like it's like oh, it is. It's like a bear fighting another bear. Hold on, let me pull it up for you guys. This is I didn't expect it to look this silly, but it will. All right, here we go. So I don't know if you can look at this real closely, but there's like a bear eating another bear on that side, among other things. And I'm trying to see, like, it looks like there's a definite ape or gorilla over on the side. It's almost like King Kong's there too. This dude doesn't have tattoos. He has a storyboard for the next King Kong movie. You know what? I'm gonna stop making fun of him. I remember just how he knocked out his opponent, so I'm gonna cut myself off on that. All right, we're doing some walkouts, which means we are close to some fights, which means we're going to keep the action going. Tecia Torres is coming up in just a second, but right now, Briana Van Buuren is walking out. Just to fill you guys on what is happening, so that way you are ready. Anik is telling us that Briana Van Buuren could have been a wrestler in college, but instead decided to opt for the more illustrious career of being a fighter in an empty arena card. Just kidding. We're going to learn lots about her. This is, again, one of the unfortunate things about the COVID situation is watching so many of these fighters have to fight without an audience. My heart goes out to them, but, you know, hopefully we'll get to see some fun things out of them. She's on a 6-fight win streak. She's a former Invicta FC champion, and she has 4 first-round finishes. So I think they're trying to give you guys some hints in the fact that she might be somebody to watch within this very first round. Of course, she's fighting the very game and apt one Tecia Torres, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out throughout this evening. What else can I tell you guys? What other comments, concerns, hints, allegations do you guys have for me? Throw them at me in the comment section, and I'm happy to implement them as best as I can into the main broadcast. We are, of course, watching UFC Vegas 3. Should just be a fight night, Vegas, blah, 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 but they're running out of ways to call that. Let me see. Watches, that title. It's Fight Companion UFC Fight Night, Vlade versus Volkov, then viewers. Oh, I get it now. Brian Platt's bitching about the fact that he doesn't like it being called Fight Companion UFC Fight Night, Blades versus Volkov, then viewers. Oh, because he doesn't like the use of the word watches, because apparently we're not watching anything right now. Nice try, though, Brian. Not really good. But I appreciate your ability to try and school us at something. It just fell apart very sadly for you. So, no, watches is still apt. Learn your English. Here we go. Back on over to the main telecast. There's nothing funnier than when people are poor and yell at you because you're not giving them what they want. No, you said watches, and I want to watch it for free. Well, there's plenty of other streams, dude. It also says it in the description. It's a Fight Companion, dummy. So, just saying. Oh, we are at the walkouts. This is a very fun evening for you guys. Ticia's coming in all business right now. Very excited for this. Amanda Nunez is giving out, of course, the props right now, saying, let's go, TT. So I guess my question for you guys is, what do you guys want to talk about right now? We're about to start there. They're playing the ends of the walkout songs, which means we're about ready to go and start getting into the main event of the prelims. There's one more over here. Let's just call it the co-main of the prelims, because coming up next is going to be Clay Guida versus Bobby Green. So I'm excited for that one. That's going to be a very fun fight to watch. Bobby Green and Clay Guida unfortunately made us have to choose because one of our friends, I guess it's Christos Yagos, was saying, dude, I hate it when friends fight each other. So always allegiances and alliances that always have to be tested on fight nights. It's very similar to out here in the SoCal scene. There are so many times when I'll see somebody put together a fight card and go, oh, yikes, I like both of those people. We're actually friends of the show. We should be getting to the action in just a second. I'm just going to grab my extra cord over here. Boom. All right, they are now starting to do the introductions, which is my time to usually tell you guys, thank you for watching. We appreciate you guys. Those of you who actually know how to read whenever somebody says you're going to just watch an event and that it's not going to be just a, hey, here's a free version of what you're watching. So dumb. Very excited for you guys to be joining us. This is a good night for fights. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing thus far in. All right. What else do I got for you guys? 1% on the phone. Hopefully it does not die on me just yet. Trying to recharge this thing, but here we go. If it doesn't, I'll figure something out. Here we go. 5 minutes on the clock. We begin. If you guys give us a nice share and a like from what you see, then we are excited. It says short girls are the one to watch out for. So this is going to be good. Oh, man. Look at you, Megan Johnson. You are not lying. Tisha is really wanting to make this all business, but Van Buuren is aggressively putting her up against the cage. Now, we've seen some people put people against the cage thus far in. Not quite like this. This is intense, my friends. Yikes. All right, here we go. 4:30 left to go on this one. I think Megan has the, you know what, Megan, you've got the comment of this. You get the pinned comment of this broadcast right now because you're not wrong. This is already looking aggressive. If she goes any further, she's probably going to lift her all the way up to where it says UFC Apex on that cage. Tisha wants to really find her way to position her head back in, and instead you're going to see Van Buuren get the takedown, but Torres doesn't just lay down for anybody right now. She is getting back up over to her knees. She almost wants to barrel her all the way through, but again, Van Buuren's control and precision is very nice thus far in. And now they're basically on the broadcast debating the constituencies for a takedown. Listen, I'll call it a takedown too. I really don't give a shit. Tisha Torres might come up to you and start yelling. Ooh, Van Buuren does have double underhooks over on this side. She's now coming in with a couple inside knees. If she's able to reverse this ever so nicely, she could get another takedown here, but like a real one, not just a takedown that they're trying to argue with over on this side. Coming in. That's good. That's good. Let me see. Moving. Trying to get in more advancement here. Yes, coming from a short girl. Hey, listen. That's the beautiful thing about jiu-jitsu is it makes everybody get like, you know what? I've been called short all my life. I'm going to take this out on you. It's like when people were like, Raph, you have a big head. And I was like, I know, but it actually comes in handy for jiu-jitsu sometimes. So, take that, society. Came for a spinning back elbow, didn't hit, almost hit the ESPN pad instead. Now the two of them are back in the middle of the octagon. And Tisha Torres looks like she wants to make up for some lost time here. Gets kicked, blocked away over by Van Buuren. Now Van Buuren is taking a moment to just see what it all means. Tisha Torres now is going to get the opportunity to push her up against the cage. And I believe that Anik was saying that Torres has never been knocked out in her entire career. It'd be interesting to see what that is going to be, important or not, to continue finding out on this fight, because for the aspect of one, Tisha Torres, you're already seeing her act aggressively, do a little bit of the same, but it just doesn't look like she's able to maintain the same composure that Van Buuren did, because Van Buuren's already circled her back out to the center. This would be a great opportunity for a trip, but instead she loses the position and may almost concede it back over to Van Buuren, who comes in with a kick. Tisha returns with a kick of her own. Ooh, nice. Now they're talking about the trigger finger on her lead arm, or her lead hand, because she recently had surgery for it. Tisha Torres does piece her up for a split second. However, Van Buuren ties back up very quickly to make sure she's not going to take any more damage. Very nicely reversed on over. Now Tecia Torres gets an opportunity to put a little bit of pressure on one Van Buuren. And I think part of that is because she pieced her up and she was on Dream Street for just a split second. Nothing major. She's probably getting recomposed as I'm speaking. But with 40 seconds left to go, now it's kind of trying to reverse the fate. So now nice punch on the inside from one Van Buuren, but Torres responds by going straight to the body, coming back up top. That's some veteran experience happening right there for her. Now two of them return. 18 seconds left to go in the beginning of this very first fight. Yeah, this is already the best fight that we've had so far in. Tecia Torres coming in, and I think it's just because they both want it so bad. That's so great when you get to see two competitors who just want to bring it out. That's amazing. Ooh. This is like, nice reversal, almost like a judo hip toss here, but instead we now basically go to a second round. That's exciting. I like this one. Megan, you're not wrong. You're 100% right on this. I'm trying to figure out what else do we have to implement here. I'm going to see if we have any more comments from our different sections real quick. Let me see. What else do you guys got for us? I love when people fight companion and viewers. I want to see if I can laugh at that comment again. Ryan, high user. I mean, no, I kind of want people to still see that comment because it's so stupid. That's the beautiful thing about dumb comments, is that you get the opportunity to go and like take them off on your shows. But I'm always like, nah, I kind of want people to look at how stupid dummies who come in for a split second to watch these shows are. If you're still watching, Brian, kudos to you. But now you're going to get made fun of all broadcast. How the fuck does one score this round? Oh, I don't know. Good thing I'm not. Good question. I felt like Van Buuren was initially who I would have given it to, but Tecia might have cut that distance. I was led to believe Tecia might have pulled ahead with maybe a little bit more concrete of a strike. And I don't know. I don't know. Don't make me score it. I'm just going to put a heart on what you just said here and hope that one of them comes to finishing it, because Tecia Torres is already still trying to come at her. Woo! Nice. And Van Buuren is getting caught a little bit here, but she only looks like she gets more centered every time she gets caught. I don't know how you do that. Van Buuren now went to negative 450 live wagering end of round, but Tecia rocked her toward the end of that period. I mean, that's essentially what I said. I just don't know that negative 450 favored on that now. That's interesting. Okay, so Bisping is making the argument that as the fight went and progressed in her UFC debut, you saw Van Buuren get more and more comfortable and start pulling out things where there were more aggressive hits and whatnot. So I wouldn't argue with that, but yikes. There we go. Nice. So they're now at the point where they're getting pushed up against the cage. Over on this side, Ticia's getting the opportunity to now start to put some hurt on Van Buuren. The mix between the two is becoming very interesting to watch live. I think it is weighing just a little bit on Tecia as well, because Tecia doesn't look like she is 100% comfortable in this exact moment. She still looks like she's just trying to figure out how it is she's going to be able to maneuver and work her. Van Buuren now basically pushes her across the cage to the other section. Now she has Tecia Torres up against the cage. Torres is now bringing in some knees, trying to use it to break up the grip while also getting some to the body. Tecia Torres finally gets the grip off with the knee, which is really good to see. Congrats to her. And they did mention that Clay Guida is coming up next against Bobby Green. So don't forget that. That means that is going to be our next fight, just in case you guys weren't aware as to where we are on the fight standings, keeping you guys updated. Now the two of them return, 2 minutes left to go. They're back at the center of the octagon. You're seeing Tecia Torres starting to dance around to try and burn out a little bit of Van Buuren, comes in with her own series of punches, pushes Van Buuren back. The two of them return back to the center. Dom is talking a little bit about how you're implementing the kick off of the heels. See, this is why I like Dom so much better than most of the other people. Like, I would rather have Dom with Joe and John Anik, but I think that Joe Rogan just likes having his buddy there. Ooh, nice kicks by Tecia Torres. And even though she eats one of them in the middle of it, Van Buuren looked like she was still trying to fight in the middle of getting kicked and absorbing it. Eesh. And just to remind you guys, once we go to the main card, we will switch to another version of this broadcast. If you are watching, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And if you guys give us a like and a share, we give you a nice toast as we do those fighters who get finishes within regulation. This might be one of those ones that goes all the way to a decision, but if it does, not that worried, because already a very, very solid fight between both of these amazing female fighters, man. This is dope. Nice. Ticia's piecing her up just a little bit more. Now this is going to become Ticia's game. I don't know. If you took that negative 400 action on that, you might have some good returns coming back, though, if you took the opposite side with Tecia. Ticia's continuing to be very, very dominant in this. What started about the halfway mark of round one has now been more of a Tecia Torres show. Ooh, nice kick on over by one. Well, hold on. We just got another friend joining us. We're going to go and implement him. You guys may see some of his videos. If you haven't seen the one that he did for one Nathan Orchard for Submission Underground, go watch that immediately. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the buzzer. All right. Welcome to the show. Back, our good friend, one, Michael Lobes Frosto. How are you doing, sir?
Good. What's going on, Raphael?
Guess what, headphones?
Switching headphones? Perfect.
I have the telecast in one ear, so my apologies.
Gotcha,
how are you, sir?
Gotcha. I'm good, man. How you been?
Not too.
Can you hear me okay?
I do. I need to take off. There we go.
So while you're doing that, I think I heard you say buzzer as I was watching it here, and the buzzer went off. So I'm like, I think we're synced this time.
Excellent. That's good news to hear. Yeah. It's funny because on the different broadcasts on like different streams, I got my iPad working, phone recharging, and the desktop up. On this version, I could hear the playback of what I said. So I heard buzzer, and then you say buzzer, and I go, well, you're synced up to me 30 seconds ago as well.
I think we're pretty good. In fact, I might actually pull up the fight on my computer. Otherwise, you're going to see me doing this. And that's probably not,
So fun story about that is that you can almost diminish part of that by doing this. It does control it a little bit more by pulling back on the frame. I usually like to be in double frame here like this so that it's a little marked up, and then I usually oscillate between the two. We're at the top of the third round. I'm at 4:49 on my time. Where are you at?
Dude, spot on.
Beautiful. Beautiful. This is great.
Finally, ESPN got it right.
So when did you come in on this fight? Because I know you've been traveling in and out.
Literally right now. So I haven't seen anything other than maybe the last 30 seconds of that last round. That was about it. Pretty much. It's
great. This has been the story of the show so far. At the very beginning, Van Buuren came in, was very aggressive, pushing up Tecia Torres against the cage. Now you are seeing that Tecia Torres at about the midpoint of round one reversed the fortune and has just been bullying her. And at the same point, still a very competitive fight. The odds were moved, oddly, within the first round to make it seem that you wanted to bet for one Van Buuren at a negative 450. However, it looks like Tecia Torres might be ahead 2 rounds still. So I think everybody is all over the place in terms of how much they are appreciating this fight thus far in.
Has Van Buuren been in the UFC for long? Or she knew? I haven't seen her.
So she's been in for, they said that she made her UFC debut earlier. However, she was more of an LFA fighter. So for LFA, one thing that's interesting to note for her is that she had, I think, a 6-win streak, and then 4 of her wins were in the first round. So once I saw her make it out of that first round, I said, okay, I'm not sure how much I feel confident about her coming in with a finish, but at least she'll keep it competitive. Now we're just seeing Tecia Torres unload everything she's been working on in practice.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not number 11. I don't know what you think this is, but it's not. This is not Van Buuren's debut in the UFC, right? She's already.
It is not her debut. No.
Okay.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah, she's throwing some.
It's funny to me because every time I see one of these things get rushed in, who the hell throws a back fist while trying to get a single leg?
Again, I think I'm ahead of you now.
No, there's like 2 or 3 of these. Jesus Christ, dude.
But they landed.
I know. I'm going to do that shit next time I'm in trouble. I'll be like, I can't finish the single. Oh, that's by accident.
I didn't mean to. I saw Van Buuren and I thought it was legal.
Hey, listen, if the ref isn't going to stop it there, why are they going to stop me? And of course, Tecia Torres now having to calm down a little bit as she's trying to just that deep inhale.
Heavy sprawl from Tecia. Jesus.
I love the breathing in of
because that's probably the sound I would have made had I been in that position and that sprawl landed on me. Instantly, all the wind out.
This is again, I'm glad you came in for this fight because I know you were in transition to making your way over, but I was like, dude, if you're gonna make it for a fight so far, make it for this, because the next one, obviously Clay Guida, it's always good to watch him fight as well.
Ooh,
but this has been my favorite one thus far of the evening, and there's been some decent fights thus far in.
Yeah, has it been pretty competitive, or is it fairly one-sided for Tecia?
That first round, I thought that Van Buuren made a good effort in that first 230, and then Tecia Torres, like, she at a certain point was able to reverse position and said, fuck you, I'm not here. And she came in, like Tecia Torres came in like she had business to conduct. So that already told me like, all right, she's in a good headspace. So even when she was put up against the cage, it was more that positional head position against the cage, not really able to do much. And Van Buuren looked solid. And then Tecia Torres just said, okay, now I'm in the fight after 2 minutes.
Van Buuren looks like she's chilling. She doesn't look too urgent.
She's not. Yeah, she's not taking a ton of damage per se. And every time it looked like she would be trying to like go in for her own single or she'd take something to the breadbasket, she was like, that's fine. I'll live.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, now she seems hesitant, a little bit slower now.
Well, I think now she's just figuring like, hey, I might want to be able to eat with this mouth a little bit later. So, you know, it's not as important to really absorb it. If I'm going to lose this fight with 30 seconds left to go, whatevs.
Well, just watching Tecia in this round, I feel like it's been this pace the entire time.
Definitely within the second, and it was close. Apparently, even on the strikes in the first round, even though I was signaling, because somebody asked, how would you score it? And I said, man, I don't know. I felt like Van Buuren initially had my score, but then I didn't know if Tecia did enough. I just thought it was dope.
Yeah.
I mean, even this, look, 10 seconds left here, and they're still just like throwing the kitchen sink.
Nice.
Yep, that was fun. Yeah,
safe to say.
Ooh,
well, now that we got a little break, I see you sipping on a beer. What do you got? Or is it your cart?
It's just the cart today, my friend.
All right, mango
I'm
cart.
not even doing with this. Let me see. I gotta make sure this comes in. They're not going to sponsor me, so I don't feel like really giving them too much airtime. Other than I like
that. We don't know that.
I've tagged them a couple times.
Keep doing it. This guy. Oh, so I'm actually. Hold on. Let me prep this can beforehand because there's a neat little trick that this beer does.
Oh no.
Being very sarcastic, as I say. Right?
Good.
Hold on.
Let me comb through on our whatchamacallit real quick while you do that. I'm going to look to see if we had any comments because we had one person that I think collected the best comment for this, and it was Megan Johnson. And I said it earlier, but I think I'll repeat it to you. And she goes, short girls are the ones to watch out for. So this is going to be good. And she was 1,000,000% right.
I agree with that. It was 115, right?
Yeah, I believe so. All right. Yeah. We're going to get an official decision. I'm going to put the earpiece into here while you do your thing. So go ahead and tell us what you're drinking, sir.
So I got this from Trader Joe's. I've been going there a lot more for all my beer. And they actually, I don't know if it's different over here or what. Cascade, where are we at? Cascade Fog. Mm-hmm. It's a hazy IPA. Milton would be proud. But one thing I noticed with this beer right out the gate, there's a sticker on it, and the can actually has a print on it. But if you pull that back, there's actually another beer hiding in there.
What?
They probably got hit with the Rona, and they're like, well, fuck it. We're not going to get more cans. We're just going to print some labels and put it on this shit. So that Day Fade hard seltzer got replaced with the old Cascade Fog hazy IPA. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, this is a cool label, but it looks weird. And like, why is there printing on the can? And yeah, so I'm just gonna take this off. We're just gonna leave that. It's officially Day Fade.
That's pretty impressive. I was about to say you have to keep that on for the rest of the evening. Can I tell you this? Okay, so first of all, Clay Guida and Bobby Green have a combined 88 fights. And yes, we do have a winner. It was 30-27 won Tisha Torres. So in response to a little bit earlier, when I believe it was Chance who asked, Raph, how'd you score it? I said, man, I'm begrudgingly giving it to Tisha in that first round. And then I said the last two were Tisha as well. So I would like to say somehow I got that one right, but it felt still like a very fun fight.
Yeah, when's the last time Bobby Green fought? Man, I haven't seen this dude in a while.
It's been a while, my friend.
Right? Did he have a losing streak? Is that why? Did he have a skid at some point? I feel like he did.
No, and it's kind of weird. I forgot that they also inducted one of Guida's fights into the UFC Hall of Fame. Because normally when they start inducting you into the Hall of Fame, they're kind of like, okay, you can chill now, dude.
Yeah, I'm hoping this is the comeback of Bobby Green. He was good. He had some rocky moments. I think just technical wise, I think he would just get too much into the brawling zone. He was good. He wasn't bad at all.
So here's their official look at Clay Guida 35-19 to Bobby Green's 24-10. So I think what happens is they just looked and said, who has a fuck ton of fights that we can just throw together on this one?
Well, and if it's been that long since Bobby's fought, I feel like this is kind of a comeback fight. Clay's good enough that if you gotta get through him. He's not gonna just topple over, but also he's kind of on his way out. Not to be a dick, but I mean, he's kind of on his way out to where it's like that mid test. Like, all right, let's bring him back in. Let's see if Bobby can start picking up some momentum back. That's what it feels like anyway.
I couldn't tell if he had tats on his hairline. So for a split second, I was like, wait, that's a great idea. If you start losing your hair, just tell your barber, be like, yo, dude, can you just tell the tattoo guy where to just put the little dots where the hairline should be?
It's actually not even a beard. That's a tattoo as well.
Here's what you should know. Bobby Green's his last fights. He fought November 16th against Francisco Trinaldo. It was a loss. Versus Drakkar Klose, a loss. That was back in December of 2018. Then his last win comes back in January 27th of 2018 against Eric Koch. And then you've got the Lando Venata draw where there was the illegal knee. And then a series of losses to Rashid, Dustin Poirier, and Edson Barboza that date all the way back to 2014. So when they say that they found this as a fight for Clay Guida, and this is a rescheduled fight that was supposed to be on another card. Nope, there's a flying entrance into the cage. Clay Guida, Clay Guida's last ones have been interesting. He has a loss to Jim Miller, win against BJ Penn, which should that count if it happened in 2019?
That doesn't count. That's not real.
A loss against Charles Oliveira, wins against Joe Lazon, though I'll take that. That was actually one where I said, all right. And then Eric Koch, he had a win and a loss against Brian Ortega that dates back to 2016. So
dude, that whole list for both of them it's not a bad rap sheet to lose, like to have losses to. Those are all good dudes. Barbosa and Ortega at the time. Like, yeah, that's rough. Well, and Clay went up and down, right? He went 55, 45.
Yeah.
This is 55, I assume, because Bobby Green, I don't think, is going to 45.
Hold on. I can't remember if this one was a catch weight. No, the next one's a catch weight. So Jim Miller is also on this card, oddly. and he's fighting on the main card. He is going to be the next fight that we see. It was a lightweight bout in this category. So he has the most control time in UFC lightweight history at 1 hour and 42 minutes and 52 seconds, and the 7th most takedowns in UFC history at 64.
And that's ranked 7th. So what is 1? Probably GSP.
Probably. Or, it's probably got to be GSP,
Khabib.
because I was about to say, I was like, I don't know that Khabib has enough fight time in there to get all of those takedowns.
Yeah.
But he might be. Either way, if you're second to either one of those guys.
Well, in his fight with Abel Trujillo, he broke the record for most takedowns in a single fight.
Well,
I forgot what it was. It was something ridiculous.
That was also a very strange set of circumstances.
Yeah.
I think everybody was like, how is this fight happening still?
Yep. So he might have the record just off that. All right.
I'm checking on comments. Thank you guys for joining. I'm looking to see what everybody is saying on all the different stations. So that way, if you guys, we have a new policy, which is, and I don't know if I've told this to you, but if people like and share this, they get a cheers as if they got a finish within the broadcast. So be expected to maybe bring out your drink if I see something happening in the interim of our fight.
It is in hand, ready to go. Okay. Yeah. 155. 155. Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way he's making 45.
This is I don't see either one of them doing that sort of a thing. Let me ask before we get to this fight though, how excited are you for tomorrow, dude?
Dude, I'm really excited. And it was funny too because for that video I was interviewing Nate and I didn't really have a list of questions that I was gonna go through. It was more of just kind of general outline. And I mean, with everything happening, I think there's enough questions to kind of fill in the blanks. So I just kind of went in. I was like, yeah, let's just do something. I'm like, I see a lot of people slowly putting tournaments back on, fight to win, submission underground. And now I see Zach starting to put together his again, but no one's doing like the countdown stuff. No one's doing the promos. So I'm like, let's try it. Let's see what we can get. But yeah, a lot of it, and I incorporated it in there, I think. But interestingly enough, he goes in there and he just tries to hit a technique that he's never hit in competition before. So I find that pretty cool. So we've been drilling a certain set of techniques. I won't say, but I found a string of them at like a super high level. So I've been sending them to him like nonstop. I'm like, yo, look at this, look at this. So if he hits it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Very nice. I'm very excited about that. That's great stuff. Yeah. We're at the top of this fight. We'll return to Submission Underground 15 discussion in just a minute. I don't know what Bobby Green is doing exactly.
He looks like what I thought he used to look like. Kind of cocky, kind of just. Oh,
I mean, bro, if you've had a few losses on your record, I would maybe not, because Clay Guida is just kind of an insane human being of energy, where that's exactly the type of thing that you're inviting. I get the timing him out and letting him do it, but it's slightly worrisome to me. Good night. Okay. Good takedown there.
What's your time, Raph? What's your time?
I'm 407 right now.
Okay, 402, 401. Got it.
Okay.
A little ahead. We're good.
Yeah, you're not that far ahead. I had to squeeze out of that to go to check our different stations. But, oh, man. Okay.
Dude, Bobby Green's always been kind of just, I don't know. He's always kind of been too swaggy.
Yeah.
Like just kind of, I'm not really in a fight. I'm just, just about to play spar, bro. That's what I feel like.
It's just... I don't know that it's the right time. But you know what, though? Here's what he's kind of implementing. Great knee to Guida over here. Now going to go in on the guillotine. Instead, Guida's going to give up position. Now the two of them are going to dance around. You're going to see Bobby Green sprawl out just for a split second. I don't think this position concerns Clay Guida as much as the several different positions he was in formerly.
Yeah, no, not that bad. That's the thing. If you see Clay in a bad position, it's not really – some people would be like, oh, you kind of get worried. It's like – he's got to be in a really bad position for you to kind of set some panic.
And I got to be honest with you. I mean, Clay Guida getting guillotined is way more something of concern to me than any of those other elements. Like everywhere else, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, he's underneath. That's fine. He's getting punched. That's okay to me. But him, like, with down. Just a little bit of a recognition of, oh shit, oh god, just the swing and the miss of just the extra air conditioning they got in the auditorium over there.
I mean, they're both looking pretty sharp.
Yeah, they look fine. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it. It's just it's interesting to see how this fight plays out, because a lot of the X factor is you don't know how Clay Guida is going to fight anymore.
No,
and
really.
Bobby Green is kind of in that, I don't see him regularly enough from what anything I could remember against.
Yeah, Clay looks really patient. I feel like he's like going in short little bursts of craziness, but no, he looks really patient, which I don't know if is good or bad.
I mean, part of me thinks, nice crack though over by Bobby as we say that. I would tell you this though. I wonder if that's the best way for a coach to work with Clay, is to be like, listen, you're a ball of energy still, but if we can channel that into short bursts, we might be a little bit more for the wear. Now, Bobby's inviting him to hit him. It looks like the strategy is the counter. It is to let Clay kind of open himself up in the process of going for the attacks here, so that Bobby can return and try and get a 1-out knockout. Now,
if he gets flatlined, I'm not saying he's going to, but if he gets flatlined, at what point are you just like, maybe I should like try and actually fight?
I don't know, but I would tell you this: if somebody ragdolled me a couple times on takedowns, I'd probably be like, we're gonna do something else now.
Yep.
Because if this guy can't knock me out, he's gonna have way more likelihood of just dumping me on my head, which doesn't sound like a fun time either way.
And it's happening pretty consistently right now. Oh, he's got a Kimura. Kind of.
Ish. So do you get like I get with that, like over Kimura grip with fighters, where I immediately think the jiu-jitsu side, and then I forget like, oh, they're not interested in that right now.
Nah, it's literally just to prevent a takedown.
Yeah, like half the time you get that jiu-jitsu moment of going, oh, fuck yeah, do it. And then you see them go, no, I'm just going to hammer fist from here. I just needed it for a second. Thanks, though.
Yeah. I just don't want him to connect his hands. Just don't touch me. Yep, nope. I mean, what can you do with it really if you're on the fence? Like, you got to change an angle. I don't know if you
guess,
can really
but that elbow's nice, though. I like that. We're down to about the last 10 seconds here, which means we will likely see a second round on this fight. So get ready. Hey, man, consistency is there for Guida, though. He's very persistent on getting this takedown in every way possible, and a jog back on over.
Classic Guida.
Christ, dude. Guida, I think, is one of the fighters that I remember one of the first gifs I saw in fighting, where it was him running out to the cage and then losing and then running back outside the cage. I like
he's hype.
He's just who he is, man, and I have a ton of respect for him. He's good people.
I wonder what's going through his head that whole time. Like is he in real? Like, does he have to get somewhere? Is he like, I got an appointment? I got to go. Or
I'll tell you this much. There's a couple of fighters tonight. Like Tisha, I thought came in all business, but there's one cat. His name was he's the French Canadian one, Marc-Andre Borough. And he came in like he had a taxi that was outside that he needed to get to. And he made it to a second round with his opponent. And then when he got to the second round with his opponent, he had the best series of uppercuts I've seen in some time. And with just maybe about 20 seconds left to go, ends up getting the finish in that round just by a series of barrages. But he was dope, dude.
Oh, man. Just when pulled up the results for all the prelims. What happened with Max?
I'm going to tell you a little bit about that when we go to
all right, cool. Yeah, I just saw the results for all that. All right, 442 is where I'm at.
I'm right there with you, my friend. So here's what's going to let our friends who are watching right now know what's going on. Nice kick to the midsection over there. He kind of still catches it. Guida doesn't care, man. He doesn't care the amount of damage he's going to absorb as he just looks for the back. Nice kick over by Bobby Green. So Bobby clearly just says, fuck you, dude. You're old. I'm old, but I think that you're slower.
I think both of them are pretty much saying that to each other.
But it's very interesting to see Clay Guida being like, bro, do you know how many fights I've been in too? I don't care if you hit me. I don't care.
First time.
You have to knock me out. Oof. Oh, I will tell you this, though. Nice recognition of his position by one Bobby Green, and almost gets swatted away like a cat.
Yeah, he looks weird right now. You don't think he's tired already? Looks really flat-footed, standing really tall.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's so much of a weirdness factor in just the way the two of them tend to fight.
Yeah.
That I think a lot of this is strategy based. It's just weird. Like this flat foot is an invitation more so than it is, I think, oh, he's just older, a little rusty. Like I feel like it's consistently trying to lull a very aggressive Guida into playing some of his card a little bit too heavy. But at the same point, like Guida's patience here is way different than when he used to be when he was younger.
That's a good matchup, though. It's even. I like it.
Yeah.
All
things considered for our weird COVID times, you know, I look at some of these matches like, yeah, I don't know how that one got put together, but here we are.
Yeah, pretty much.
Though, would you say Bobby is maybe ahead in this round?
I still think I mean, again, depending how you look at it, because judges are judges. I put him behind. He's hitting him, but he's reacting a lot. He's not initiating much of anything. I think on the feet, he's hitting some more counters than Guida is, but takedowns, grappling, he's just reacting at this point.
Maybe, but I want to see the stats on this because I've seen Guida's effectiveness go up when he got the takedowns in the first round. In the second round, without the takedowns, the strikes are almost a little bit more even, with Bobby almost cracking Guida a couple times. So that's the thing that's concerning me on this particular round in terms of output.
You know, Bobby thinking he's Mayweather right now, hands down, just walking like he just strolled into a club. What's good?
That's really funny. I like the fact that I was like, I don't know that he had reached Mayweather status to me until I saw exactly how flat-footed he was, and I was like, no, you're right.
Oh.
Nice. Takedown
defense good considering. Oh. Again with that guillotine.
Yeah, I mean, here's the good news, though. I think of you having that good grip for a guillotine, and I'm probably trying to go as fast as Guida does out of that.
I need to work on that. I think I've lost my guillotines.
What?
Yeah. Started training again, started going for them again, and they are not there. Not like they were. I'm like, oh, that's not good. So there's going to be some heavy drilling sessions coming up for some poor soul's neck, but
I would say, though, you've probably just been interested in other things that you go, how's this work again?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't really know what I've been interested in. Like, I think I've just been more on the path of just trying to like train again and just feel like sparring again and not even focus too much on like a specific game or anything. I'm just like, let me just become an active person again.
That's fair. Yeah. I will tell you though, enrolling with a couple of our friends, who
be specific, name names.
I'm not going to name
names. I want to call them out.
You could do whatever you want.
Whisper it to me.
You should already know who these people are at this point. But
once you describe it, I'll probably guess.
No, I'm not sure that'll give it away dead. But there's definitely a couple. There's two people, and I'm referring to here. Nice, kind of back take with the last seconds of
nice transition. Yeah.
Okay. So of our friends, doing well, but because everyone's naturally slow right now, they're at my speed. So they're now kind of looking at me when we were rolling like, why am I not beating you? Like, why am I? And I'm like, listen, this is temporary. It's going to go back to normal at some point. But I would like to point out, I do have a finalized electric chair here right now. And normally I wouldn't have this on you. And normally I wouldn't even think of this, but it's where we're at. Another person had issues with pressure, and they're not who you think they would be, I think. I think if I were even to tell you the names, you'd be like, how? And I'd be like, I don't know. They're just slow now. So
I'm going to say Milton.
Could be.
Just because I can.
Well,
if you're watching, I think it's you.
I would never, ever put anybody under a bus like that. But I would say I think that you know Milton enough to know that if something bad was happening to him, he would not be happy with it.
Yeah, he would deny it. He'd be like, that never happened. I don't know what you're talking
Well,
about.
I don't think he would. I
He'd be
think
like
he would.
Bobby Green right now.
I don't think he would be denying it as much as he would just be like, "Fuck Raph." So there's probably that answer you'd get from him. We're back now at 4:43 on my time. Chance Snyder points out and says, "Classic Clay Guida corner burp," which, yep.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
I'm pretty sure that Clay Guida might actually be the one fighter that they, instead of giving him water, just give pure beer, like pure Natty Light.
That would make perfect sense.
I appreciate that your headphones, your nice Apple Buds, keep your voice exactly the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, and I only have one in.
No, it's good. It sounds good. Thank you, Chance. Appreciate you coming in and chatting with us. Just to remind you guys, when we go to the main card, we're going to switch to another telecast. So that means we're going to do another stream link. So if you're watching this right now, we're going to have one specifically just for the main card because these things time out after 4 hours. And that could be another about 2 hour plus affair. Yep, still not there, dude. And Clay doing a very nice job of bringing his arm back on in. I mean, now, woo, nice knee by Bobby Green there.
I gotta keep my mouth shut now.
You're fine. Here's the best part is I never mind if somebody's ahead of me. It is
unless they catch wind of it and they just freak out like something happened and nothing happened.
Okay, Megan Johnson has a very important question I'm going to pose to you, Michael Frosto, and it is, if Guida versus Green goes to decision, can we give an extra point for Green's impressive front roll into the cage on his walkout?
It wasn't that smooth. Did you see it? I mean, he kind of went back down and like, oh.
I think that's a very, very rough thing to say. You have a very high standard for a front roll, sir.
Yeah, especially if you're going to do it as the first person entering in the octagon on TV. Better have practiced that. I mean, look at Gaethje. Gaethje does a backflip off the fence. That's the practice.
Dude, that's great. We're all gifted differently. I don't think that we should all be Gaethje. And to be honest, Gaethje in his last fight was saying, it was against Ferguson. He goes, "Yeah, I didn't stick the landing. I'm just old, dude." Well, this is the tale of the third round that we see right now. Is now there's almost a reversal of position. For a split second, Guida was trying to aggressively get this takedown, not really getting much of it. Now Bobby Green is just trying to return in kind and is just punching to the stomach. So, that's where we're at. Guida's just by attrition, at least something that's commendable here.
Yeah, I don't know who I give it to. It's kind of weird. This is a weird fight.
I know that my heart would like to give it to Clay Guida, just for initiating the fight. I think that second round's a little weird to me. I don't know, and this third round is not Guida's best per se, but again, he's still trying to be the one pushing the action.
If he can sneak in a takedown in this last minute, I think that gives it to him.
Agree.
I mean, keep him there though.
Let's see. Shit! I just showed a stat and I didn't see what it was. Damn it! That would have been very helpful to my interp at this point. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's something about a lackadaisical fighter who's trying to go the defensive angle who doesn't make it pay off that makes me go, nah.
It goes out there to slip every jab and just gets jabbed up. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, great job. Here's to you. This is actually going to go overtime now.
Ooh.
They're going to be on weird UFC time because this is going to clear at the 4:59 mark, and they are not going to announce before then. So they are rushed. Partially the reason why I believe we didn't actually talk to Tisha Torres at the end of that last fight, which is strange because these things go on forever.
Oh, that's a weird spot. Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
it's an interesting way to finish a fight.
Just,
That should be a meme.
hey, listen, if I don't get a Kimura on somebody the next time, that's 100% what I'm doing. In transition, is just wailing straight in. Now, the two of them are now pals, so yay. All right, official decision is coming up after the break. Let's remind people we're going to be switching to another telecast, so that means look for that, share that. If you share it and you like it, when we come back, you get a cheers as if you are one of the fighters. Now, we're not cheersing either of these fighters because there's no finish within regulation, but doesn't mean we won't be cheering other fighters that happen throughout the evening. Plus, Third Coast Grappling is going to be something I am watching, so I'm going to have that on my side.
Ooh, he had that many significant strikes? Damn.
Didn't
look like that, but all right. Well, while we get to the decision, while we get to the decision, let's go back to Submission Underground. How do you feel about that first matchup?
With who?
Nate.
I love it. I love that they know. They're like, oh, people would have liked to seen this in the finals. And it's like, no fucking shit, we would have. But I'll have more on it when we come back. That's a good tease for when we come back to the next broadcast.
Oh. Good dub. Not a dub I'd be happy with, but a good dub.
Like I said, Frosto, that second round, my friend.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's something weird about watching his output where I was like, fuck, dude, look at the way how he's countering, and he's actually able to stilt some of Guida's. But if those takedowns would have happened in that third round, I think he would have been fine.
Yeah.
No, that's annoying. Well, the good news is now they don't have to pretend to not interview him.
Yeah, right. They're not going to.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to end this telecast right now. So thank you guys for watching the prelims with us. We're going to be right back, so don't go anywhere. We're going to come back in just a second with the main card. When we come back, we're going to have a lot more action. Plus, I'll be watching part of the Third Coast Grappling, and we're going to hear my answer to what I think of that first round matchup at Submission Underground. We'll see you guys back in just a second.